Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone live. Yes, we are live with the Paul Cornell blocking syndrome stream. Yes, that man is absolutely pathetic. And for the next hour or so, me and a couple of guests are going to be delving in to the warped mind of this man. Also, just before I went live, I also heard that another former rider has actually had a go at Paul Cornell. I've also been informed that apparently Paul Cornell is using a bot to get rid of people. But here's the interesting thing. 45 minutes before the watch along happened, he mass unblocked some people. Now, I wasn't one of them, but during the stream then, he continued to block other people. Now, this guy, this all started after the Timeless Children, for me anyway, when he asked fans' opinion about the Timeless Children. And of course, as you know yourself, there was a lot of anger. And a lot of fans expressed that anger. And he wasn't happy. And me, with along of other people, were blocked. Now, obviously, it did annoy me. But we kind of moved on from that. And then, of course, then when we found out then his double bill was to come along, he decided then that he was going to continue to have a pop. This man has come out with some ridiculous things. We have some of his tweets, some interesting tweets as well. But all I will say personally about the man is this, and I said it already before. If you're going to ask the fandom a question, right, and you don't like the answer, well, then don't ask the question in the first place, because, you know, this kind of behavior shouldn't be tolerated. You talk about your very first tweet that you put up, you talk about getting fans involved. Now, I've had a look into all of this tweet along, and whether it's right or wrong, I'm just going to say that if you look at most of the people that have worked on the projects, the little bits of video and animation that they've given us, and you look at these people's profiles, there's one startling thing that you will see throughout the whole lot of this. Every single one of them have a rainbow flag. So there is a deliberate attempt by the people that are behind these tweet alongs to make sure that these people are front and center. Right? They all have flags, every single one of them. Right? And he came up with some ridiculous tweets. We will show you. He talked about something about tea time, not the scarecrows. He was basically saying that they couldn't show anything else more sinister. But it's okay now in 2020 to show a woman experimenting and murdering a child multiple times. But that's okay. And that's what he defends. Right, we've got one of our first guests. We have another guest coming on, but you all know who this guest is. He's become a regular on this channel. I love the man, I have to say. I love these streams. And I've actually been looking at our streams lately. It seems the streams that I do with Rabbi seem to be the most popular streams that we do right now on this channel. And obviously the streams that I do, people have been getting behind them. So everybody has made it clear that they love me and Rabbi doing these streams together. So here he is. Here's me co-host, as we say.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
Not too bad. Have you got your coffee?
No, I actually came without. I'm going to maybe... It's not too late. I might appeal to my daughter to bring me one, but she might be in bed already. But she would do it. She's so nice.
Yeah.
If she's watching, I doubt she is. But
we're just waiting on her with our guest. He'll be a few minutes, but right. Let's get into this, anyway. Right, let's get into this anyway. So.
Oh my God. Okay.
Right.
You know.
Go ahead. So Jordan, the tweet along as you noticed when you obviously came back to the real world. On your night off, you would have seen that there was a lot of reaction to what Paul Cornell had actually said and the things that he was doing. Now, I've actually put up the tweet and I've asked people to actually send me if Paul Cornell has blocked you, please send me a screenshot so I can use it. So I have a few of them don't have many, but there is a lot of people on Twitter that have been blocked. They're just, you know,
well, you see,
look, this man blocked me out of the timeless children, and I've been calling him out ever since. But Rabbi, I'll ask you, and I will, because someone in the comments said, "Oh, I love your videos, but you cut across Rabbi all the time." So I'm going to try stop that. Me and Rabbi do it to each other. It's just we're both passionate. You know what I mean? So, like, I do, and I know I do. So I do apologize. But Rabbi, I'll ask you, what are your thoughts anyway?
All right. So, okay, this is what Paul Cornell doesn't understand. It's hilarious. The Timeless Children was a long time ago now. It was what, 2 months?
Yeah.
We lived in a different universe. We lived in like a pre-current global situation universe, you know? Everything's changed. Everything's changed specifically for him as a creator. He has no companies that he can hide behind now to sell his work to. He has to deal directly to the customer. That is the reality. That, I mean, yeah, it's happened. The comic book industry, AMC theaters have just gone down. The CBS looks like they're about 3 days away. You know, it's like it's not good. All these companies that they hide behind to get work from, they're all going away. They're all going away, but at least not all going away. I mean, they're just the amount of jobs out there is about to be reduced about 25% to about 25%, right? So the only way to sell stuff is selling it to your audience, to us. Don't say the word toxic fan anymore. Say toxic paying customer. Every time you say the word fan, you got to say the word paying customer, because you are a service representative now. You are a customer service representative. You don't like it, become a plumber. Okay, that's the reality of your world. So yeah, I can't stand that that one eyebrow raised look that he gives. Like, I don't know why he does it. It's so annoying. It's so unbelievably annoying. But mate, you know, it's time to raise both eyebrows, because you're in a different freaking universe. You don't have the wherewithal. You don't have the ability to be blocking anyone who's a potential customer, because you're about to be on the breadline, mate. Okay, and we all like. Here's the crazy thing: we like you. We like your work. You entertain us. Shut the hell up.
Exactly.
Idiots.
Shut the hell up is exactly right. You're right. Shut the hell up. We don't need you. You know, you kind of ruined it. But here, this was the tweet that he put up anyway. And this is what this shows the hypocrisy in the man. So he wrote, "I really want tonight's event." And as you can see, this is the thumbnail to this video, by the way. That's why I covered his actual face, because I don't want to get into trouble. But I can show his tweet because he is a public figure. So I really want tonight's event to be about all of us, the whole community. So I want to rope in fan creators, RT as much as I can, encompass rather than broadcast. But here's the thing. The people that he got involved in it, as I said, they're all rainbow flag warriors. Now, I've no personal dislike towards those people, but there's a certain element within the fandom that are really, really toxic. And the thing about it is, he says he wanted to include all fans, but all I see is the people behind this tweet along and that do the artwork and stuff are just all rainbow warriors. Where's the balance? I mean, I know there is different what's the word? I don't know what the correct word is. But we know that there's a range of different people that support the show. But you don't highlight one group of people. Yeah, but this is what I have a problem with. They're just highlighting one group of people and their artwork.
Right.
Why not? I mean, you're an artist, Rabbi. You know, could you not rope a fan in like you?
This is what I think happened.
And they're all in their mid-20s, by the way, Rabbi.
I completely hear it. Okay, I completely. This is what I think happened. He's cultivated a group of followers, maybe even friends, right? On the camera, he's cultivated a group of followers, friends, and I think he just reached out to the people who were closest to him, who he knew could do the job, which all probably fell into that profile. You know, I could forgive him that, but for just getting people in his own bubble, because he probably just pulled it together himself. What I'm having more trouble forgiving him for is the incredible simpering to Chris Chibnall. I mean, look, Paul, mate, you're not going to be able to say anything with Chris Chibnall's cock in your mouth, okay? You got to ease up a bit, mate, okay? we don't like it.
Oh, Rabbi. Right, listen. Right, this stream is monetized, right? But it's going to get demonetized, right? I don't really give a shit. There, I've dropped the bomb already. I don't really care, but I don't want it to happen in the live chat. But this stream will get, its passions will run high. Look, this guy is a writer for the show back in the day. His stories brought a lot of joy to people.
And they're brilliant. They're brilliant.
Yeah. Now, this is what Gareth Roberts had to say.
Gareth Roberts. Yeah.
Now, Gareth Roberts, as you know, was cancelled, right, by these people. Now, the interesting thing about it is that the people that Paul Cornell has rallied around them, let's just say there's people that they know that were probably involved. Well, not probably. I know because I was told were involved in the takedown of Gareth Roberts. At the time, I extensively covered this. I was called homophobic and transphobic because I defended this man. I defended this man. He's a member of the LGBTQ plus community anyway. And this is the most ironic thing. They will destroy their own.
Oh, right?
Yeah. They will destroy their own. Well, at the end of the day, they've got an agenda. And if Gareth Roberts or anybody like James Dreyfus, who I covered, whose video was actually taken down by YouTube because a couple of people didn't like me defending him against the Sisterhood of Can, who actually cancelled him as well. They tried to cancel him, right? There was people that we know that cancelled Gareth Roberts and are still in this fandom, right? All because of a writer felt uncomfortable that he was part of work that they were doing. So she ran into our safe space and bitched to some other woman in the fandom and then had Gareth Roberts cancelled. So this is what Gareth Roberts had to say about Paul Cornell. So you can clearly see by this tweet that there's still bitterness. And I don't blame Gareth Roberts. This is why a lot of people have said Gareth Roberts would be the right man to take this show over, because he understands that there's a balance, and he understands that like Stephen Moffat to a certain extent, right, to a certain extent, but Gareth Roberts would definitely bring the balance to Doctor Who. He would he's not going to be able to please everybody, but he'd be able to please the right people, right? Us as fans and the other side, because he understands that and he lives through it. So here's his tweet anyway, right? And it reads, remember, kids, Cornell is here to save you from races like Suella Braverman, Alok Sharma, Rishi, am I saying that? Rishi Sunak, James Cleverly, and Priti Patel, or whatever the bleeding that writer.
You got that one. I know you got that one right.
but this was in response to this tweet by Paul Cornell. It was important for us to feature the racism, to show it, and in a few years' time, men like that will be running the country. Now, I know what that's in reference to. That's in reference to the scene where Baines and his mate are basically making racial comments towards Martha Jones. Here's the thing, Paul Cornell. At the time, there wasn't an agenda, and at the time, it was right to highlight that because there was racism at that time. We are not blind by that at all. You wrote that perfectly. We have no problem with your writing. We have the problem with the writing today because it's not written properly. You wrote it within the context of that show, and it worked beautifully. They don't do that now. But you don't understand. But these are the type of tweets he was putting out. By the way, he did put out another one, right? Now, I'll find it now in a second. But he put out another one that really boiled me blood. Talking about canon. And he says he hopes that after tonight, that canon is swept down the gutter, right? Now...
Oh, what, with his intros?
Yeah. Because he did the human nature. He tried to make the two of them canon and stuff. Right. Well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. If canon means nothing, right? See, he's a contradiction. If canon means nothing, then why did you try so hard to canonize the two, link the two human natures? If canon doesn't matter. See, you're a hypocrite. See, here's what Paul Cornell wants, right? He wants a job off Chris Chibnall. See,
right, but that's the point. Yeah. We're not thinking what job he wants. What job do you think he wants of Chris Chibnall? I don't think he wants to write an episode. You know what?
I think he wants more. Yeah, I think he wants more.
He's angling for a head writer. Like he wants a job as the head of the writers' room.
See, I think what's happening right now, right, between us here all on this channel, I think right now what's happening is there's a bit of a battle going on between the writers and former showrunners, i.e. Chibnall, i.e. RTD, Moffat, now Paul Cornell. I reckon there's a lot of them that know that Chibnall is on his way out, and now everybody is scrambling to take over the show. And maybe this is why Paul Cornell is licking up Chris Chibnall. Because then when Chris Chibnall leaves, he will say, well, I know that the time this children's story arc will be in safe hands with Paul Cornell. See, I think this is what he's doing, right? And then you have the other side, which is Moffat and RTD, and they basically want to, well, I'm not saying wreck on it, but they want to come in and rectify their mistake.
Oh, that's
which is asking Chris Chibnall to take the job. So that's what I think is going on.
Like, we win either way. Like, we win, like, oh my gosh. If our choices are Paul Cornell or Moffat and RTD, I mean, geez, they're both pretty damn good choices. They both do exquisitely good Doctor Who. Yeah, okay.
Just want to say something to Colin. Colin, I know we were supposed to do the big finish logo today, stream today, but I actually was running way behind today, very late. So we'll try squeeze it in at some stage tomorrow. If not tomorrow, definitely Monday. But that is something that we will actually talk about because I'm interested to hear what they actually had to say about the logo. Also, those two guys that sent me the response to the emails that just got and put it up on the comments. I can't seem to find them. Will you do me a favor and if you could send me them by messenger or if you are on me Twitter accounts, if you could send me by DM, I'd appreciate it because I want people to see them as well. That's actually very interesting as well. Listen, there's a lot of interesting stuff going on right now. We will show you more Paul Cornell tweets.
You know the most outrageous, insulting thing that Paul Cornell did. Like, this is outrageously insulting. He hasn't blocked me. So, like, for me, I'm an utter nobody now.
Oh, loads of people have said that I don't feel special because he hasn't blocked you. Well, listen, it's not nice to be blocked by a Doctor Who writer. I can tell you that, especially someone that you actually admire, especially with their work.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, and I'm going to say this, and he's not going to like it, and I hope someone from the BBC is watching or he's watching. All I just want to say is you're a dickhead, mate. Dickhead. You're a poor-ass dickhead. And I'll tell you why you're a dickhead, right? It's not the fact that, that you don't agree with people, right? Everybody's entitled to disagree, right? If they don't agree, right? That's just the way it is. What I have a problem with is you felt the need to, and I think this question was set up, to be honest. If you're gonna ask me honestly, this is what I think happened. Paul Cornell put that tweet up because he wanted to see who would react badly to the timeless children, right? And that was his way of purging his Twitter from any negativity. This was planned, right? And then he decided right, 45 minutes, because I seen the tweets, Doctor Who Production News, who won't mind me naming them, Jordan Series 11, like this channel, they were covering Doctor Who news on Twitter. They had interesting articles and all. Me and Rabbi used to go in and have a look at their posts and all because obviously, I was covering Doctor Who news and it was interesting to see what they were coming up with. right? But they actually rolled up 45 minutes before it, right? And they wrote a tweet and they said, "Oh, we're very grateful to Paul Cornell who has unblocked us," and start giving the usual laddie daddy da. And I was like, yeah, and I put up my own response tweet. I retweeted that tweet and I wrote basically, yeah, it's funny how he unblocked you when he wants you to watch his stuff. And this is why these people are parasites. They do this all the time.
What did you do to get him to block you?
He asked about, right, this is how it came about. He asked a question about how fans what fans thought about the timeless children.
Yeah.
And tweet, I can't remember the exact tweet, but I can remember the content of the tweet. So it went along the lines of, some fans there are not comfortable with the fact that a child was experimented and murdered multiple times. I think it's a disgrace. Something along the lines of that. I said Chibnall's a disgrace or something. This isn't Doctor Who. And then before you know it, I was blocked. Something along those lines. I can't remember the tweet. I don't really care. I said something negative about the timeless children anyway. I wasn't harsh. And I actually wasn't harsh, believe it or not.
Right. It's funny.
Doctor Who writers are acting like that. They're different to the fans that we deal with. So when they ask a question, I'm respectful, but I will give my bleeding opinion. And that's what I did. Right. I gave my opinion. He didn't like it. And he blocked me, right? No explanation. The next day I woke up. You will see it. It's on my Twitter. I'll show it. Next day I woke up. I was gutted. Human Nature and Family of Blood is one of the best two-parters in New Who.
And it's really inferior to the novel. I just reread it over the last day because it just whizzed by. The novel's fantastic. Oh my god.
Yeah. Fair enough. That's fair enough, and I get that. But those two stories at the time for me, when I watched them, the Scarecrows, that whole scene is very, it's heartbreaking. I mean, and that's what why I loved it was right. It was a Doctor Who episode, but they showed you the reality of that war. They were kids.
Right, yeah, it was a superior episode. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the way they were in England. They were getting these lads ready, and Nurse, whatever her name was, I forget her name, the one that David Tennant but she even was saying, she said it, like, you're prepared these boys, like, but this is not real. It'd be real when they go into the raid, they're not going, and you're seeing that some of them go into shock, like. That's the way it was. It was horrible. And there was racism, but it was done brilliantly. That wasn't the focus. They moved on pretty quickly from that.
No, you know what they did? They did really well with that. You had a couple of people being racist, but you had like also white people being not racist as well.
Exactly.
They didn't have like this idiotic, two-dimensional view of things.
Exactly. And that was different. Right, I'm just going to make sure that our special guest is still coming on. Don't want to mention who it is, but some of you will probably already know. But they said they would join us because it'd be interesting. But I will actually show you more tweets as well because he's a fascinating character. But Gareth Roberts, as you can see, clearly not happy. Now, listen, I'm going to be out straight. I've asked Gareth Roberts once, and I've asked people that know him personally to see if I can get him to come onto this channel.
Oh, wonderful, wouldn't it? Wouldn't be lovely?
Unfortunately, and I'm going to just say this, unfortunately, he's a very hard person to interview. And as you know yourselves, he is quite controversial. But for me, I love that because I'm controversial myself. So, if anybody out there knows Gareth Roberts, you can ask them. By
the way, while we're talking about that, I sent requests via Twitter and via agents to Joy Wilkinson. I thought that'd be a fantastic guest to have on to talk. I want to talk something from that point of view because I don't understand. And I think if we can have a conversation, it'd be fantastic. I also sent one to a request to Rufus Hound. If anybody knows how to get in touch, because I really love his meddling muck. It is just pitch perfect, fantastic. So if anybody knows him, can you nudge him? I got in touch with him via Twitter as well, but didn't hear back from either of them. I'm going to keep plowing on. I should try and get in touch with Piers Wenger. Wouldn't that be wild?
Yeah, he won't come on. He won't come on. He's a chicken. They're all chickens. Like, I just bring Paul, as I said, I bring Paul Cornell on. I just ask him one question: justify the foundation of the Time Lords. Go ahead. And then there'll be that silence.
Exactly. Cricket.
So, yeah. It's just sad because, I mean, this man is liked by a lot of fans, but he just seems to have a problem right now with anybody. And that's why I call him a sellout. That's why I call him a shill. That's why I call him a clown, because that's exactly what he is. Listen, if you're going to ask someone's opinions, listen, I ask people's opinions, and sometimes I don't like the answers that I get, but I don't block people. It's not what I do.
Yeah, why would you?
You know what I mean? I'll give you a laugh, right? Give you a laugh. Someone gave it about the thumbnail of the last stream that we did, right? And someone says to me in their group, now they were nice about it. For once, there was no insults. The person says, I don't think you should be telling fans how to think. And I was going, well, that's just the title of the video. I mean, people can make up their own minds. It's more
what we think. And we will.
The thing about it is, I knew the guy didn't watch me video because he was talking, obviously, in general, and you could see that he actually didn't. And I said, actually, if you watched my video, you would see that I'm actually talking about one specific thing about the timeless children. And I says, as I said, if people do watch me video, they probably will agree with me. And I says, even if people don't agree with me, that's fine. That's the way the fandom used to be. It's okay to have different opinions, but thank you for not being like the rest of them and just coming in and insulting me. Thanks for coming in and actually having a chat. And that's the way it should be. Right. But but when you get shot, look, he's up to something. He's definitely up to something. And I said so let's speculate while we're waiting on our next guest. I think it is because I think he's looking to replace Chibnall, and I think he's doing everything in his power to worm his way in there so he could take over. And maybe he's letting Chibnall know, listen, mate, your timeless children's story arc will be safe under me, and I'll even expand on it.
Right. And he's like perfect casting for them because he's a Doctor Who guy with a proven record of understanding Doctor Who. He's just at a very. Was it as well? I can't imagine it was as well received as Jonah's End, but I imagine it did well. I thought it trended #1. Right? Yeah. So it did well. So look, he's coming off a success where Chibnall's coming off it. I can see why the BBC would like him. I don't think they even need to get rid of Chibnall. I think from the BBC's point of view, they bring on an additional executive producer, showrunner to handle the scripting, to handle the story. Somebody to run the story room. The question is, what would a Jodie? Well, who knows what it is? What would a Chibnall, Paul Cornell season look like? That sounds quite tantalizing to me. Paul Cornell's a fabulous talent. So you get these two things clashing with each other. You get this insane agenda that they want to inject into it, and this real talent that he has. So I wonder how that would marry, and if the talent would win out. But I'm just being optimistic, I think. Well, what do you think?
No, I don't want that. I don't want him anywhere near Doctor Who now. I actually don't now. I think, I think he would follow in line with Chibnall. He has proven that he'd be willing to basically roll on his belly like a dog for it to be rubbed. He's just a sellout. None of them deep down believe in this, but he's working an angle just like the rest of them are right now. And I'm just, right now, just sick and tired of the games. And they all need to stop. And to be quite honest with you,
at the end of the day, all you got to do is watch the episodes. They're just awful. I mean, they're just unbelievably, indescribably bad. Each and every one of them. They're all like uniquely awful. And and not just like as an opinion point of view. I think objectively, as there's so much objectively wrong with these terrible, terrible episodes that they now have to stand by. Which worse than anything else, they're boring. They're just boring. The Doctor's preachy. Oh my God! Although, did you see the short story?
What? But hold on, though. There is something I have to tell you, right?
Yeah.
And this actually fits into what we were just talking about just there. Before you get on to your next point, because this is important, I've got something to show you, actually, right? Now, if this doesn't prove that Paul Cornell is working an angle, I don't know what is, right? Now, the interesting thing about this tweet is this, right? Is that, number one, he must think fans are crazy to believe for 1 second that Chris Chibnall has anything to do with this at all, right? Because according to Paul Cornell, right, and I shit you not, this clown says that we owe Chris Chibnall a debt of gratitude. Yeah. Now listen, I'm going to show you this fucking tweet.
I'm showing you right now.
This. No, I'm not messing. This is just right. This clown, right? We were taught right. So let me guess. So it started off. So you're right. He begged RTD to go right, do something special for Doctor Who during the lockdown because he couldn't be bothered doing it himself. So if you want us to thank him for that, I suppose you have a point there to a certain extent. But I'm not thanking that man for nothing. For nothing. Why would I thank that gobshite? Right? He hasn't even had the decency to show his face since this crisis. Written a short story. Who cares? Right? It was written by a 7-year-old. Right, but watch this. This is unbelievable. So I'm going to read this exact tweet out and I'm going to put it up on the screen. Right? Because this man he's just a delusional fucking gobshite, to be honest with you. And I hope you are listening because you are a delusional gobshite. Right? Nobody's going to thank this man. Thank him for what? Thank him for what? For ruining 50 plus years of Doctor Who history and flushing it down the toilet. You little sellout shill you. You sellout.
He kind of did. What can I tell you? You kind of did, didn't you? You kind of got a point.
I am not going to praise that man. I want that man gone. Why would I praise him, you bleeding mad lunatic? Well, here's the tweet anyway. Right, but you know what? He's delusional little swine. The last thing I want to say is that the person who brought the first part of this trilogy, the Shadow Passes, to you was Chris Chibnall, who's responsible for all the content designed to help people in lockdown. Round of applause for him. So he's responsible for all the Doctor Who official content designed to help people in the lockdown. So all the other people have been praised. No, we shouldn't have been praising them according to Paul Cornell. It's all down to Chris Chibnall. So we should all give Chris Chibnall a round of applause for being stunning and brave. Fuck you, Cornell.
I just wanted to point out that point where he says Chris Chibnall for the first time, that's exactly where he orgasms into Paul Cornell's mouth. That's where the first jism hits his throat. And I think I was going to say the second one will be content. That that's just the rhythm I see it going down.
And there, he blocked me. There,
there
he is. Look at that smile, right? See that smile? That's the smile of a man. That's the smile of a man that likes to brown nose the BBC and Chris Chibnall. Look at him there, right? Blockety block. He has block syndrome. You know what? We should do one of those. Do you ever see one of those Africa Appeal ads? We should do one for him, right? For the Paul Cornell blocking Twitter syndrome foundation. Yeah, send $4.99 to this man and help him. Help him. He needs help. This guy needs help. He's a fucking clown. And now we've got our special guest. And I can't wait to hear what this man has to say. But you all know who he is anyway. I shouldn't have really said a special guest, but he is a special guest. It's our man, our main man, Bowlestrek.
Yes.
Right, he's got his sound.
I'm special.
Oh, there he is. There he is. He's here. He's here. Right.
That is such a punchable face.
It really is, isn't it? It really is. You know, I was just gonna say, you know what that face is? That's the face of a man who came up thinking he was fantastic, getting told he was the best of the best of the best, and really getting some acclaim in very small circles. Then suddenly seeing everybody around his career explode into like television and film, while he remains doing basically nothing.
Exactly. I mean, look at this one.
Behind.
So this was in relation to the scene where the kids in Human Nature, Family of Blood, Family of Blood, basically the scene where they're shooting the scarecrows, and he says because having children mowing down anything more than straw was a step too far for tea time. And then I made the point then, well, okay, that's fair enough, but now in Doctor Who, it's okay for a woman to experiment and murder a child multiple times on tea time TV. Like, again, this is a man that defends the timeless children, but look what he's just a hypocrite. Here's another one, isn't it? Yeah. So Julie Gardner changed the cricket ball of the book to the fob watch. One of the best interventions by an exec I've ever seen. So you could see when it was open and closed. I don't know what that's all about, but something like that. Then you have. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you this though. It's a bit unrelated, but this was put up by Janet Fielding.
What?
And then look at Colin Baker's response.
Let me just reiterate what I've often said. Oh, and hello, everybody in the chat. People are saying hi. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Blue Bonnet Hoovian, Gary, Colin P. Smith, Problem Being, Michael Richardson. I hope I got everybody there. Hello, everyone. So let's just use Bowlestrek's logic statement for a moment. Noel, you want to put that Janet Fielding thing back up?
I will indeed. Yes. Sorry about that. I'll do that now. Just give us a second. I have to. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Right, what Donald Trump said was ridiculous, and I have to mention that.
It's a way off topic, but he didn't really say that at all.
Listen, I watched the press conference live, right? I even watched the reaction of his health expert that was sitting at the chair. Right, she was mortified. Right, he wasn't being sarcastic. Right.
Well, here's my argument, which I've made many a time. Entertainment, and I'm so sick of saying this,
politics
needs to be apolitical because it's supposed to be made for a general audience.
Yeah.
So when you take a political stance, when you are a public figure, then invariably you're going to alienate half your audience. Now, whether you like Trump or dislike Trump, chances are a good portion of your audience are Trump supporters, whether you like it or not. This is called reality. This is called pragmatism. So just go cry in a goddamn corner.
There, Bowlestrek.
So by wishing death on the president of the United States, whether you agree with him or not, and I'm not going to give Noel knows my feelings on this, but I'm not going to give it in the stream.
Right. Go on.
So essentially, you've just alienated half your audience. Well, what audience you have left? And Colin Baker, Jesus Christ, man, went off the deep end years ago.
That I'm actually more pissed off with. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? As people know, ourselves, I've been a huge defender of Donald Trump. But when it came to this crisis, I cannot support him. I think he's got it wrong. That's just a personal opinion, right? But the thing about it is, I do agree with Bowlestrek. The celebrities do it time and time again. They shouldn't be getting involved in politics, especially when they're in the entertainment industry, because then lines get blurred. And as Bowlestrek said, you might have a lot of the fans that support a particular person. So you're alienating those fans. We've seen it already now. I don't want to go off topic, but Jonathan Frakes has come out now, and he's had a go. So, I mean, again, you know, they shouldn't be getting involved. Just shut your mouth. Make whatever you're doing now. Do whatever you're doing, and keep your politics to yourself. Simple as that.
Shut up and take our money. That's really what would you say? Just shut up and take our money.
I wonder if Colin Baker has blocked me. Let's see. At what is that? Sawbones Hex.
Yeah. By the way, I just want while Bowlestrek is checking that, I just want to give a special shout out to someone whose birthday it is.
No, he hasn't blocked me. Okay. Well,
I think it's tomorrow. I'm not sure if it's tonight or tomorrow, but I'll say it anyway now while we have him here. I just want to wish Daniel a happy birthday.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Daniel.
It's Daniel's birthday this weekend, and he's a huge fan of this channel, great supporter of this channel. So happy birthday, pal.
Happy birthday, my friend.
With this crisis, but you won't be able to celebrate it the way you really want to celebrate it. But we'll, you know, hopefully, and we will obviously entertained over the weekend. It's tomorrow, this Blue Bonnet. So it doesn't matter. We'll say happy birthday now, and then we'll say happy birthday tomorrow.
You got to sing happy birthday now, Noel.
No, I'll sing him happy birthday. I'll sing you happy birthday tomorrow, right? Not tonight because it's tomorrow.
Michael, my good friend Michael Richardson just asked, do I dare follow Colin Baker? My recommendation is no. Stop giving these people attention. If they are going to disrespect the fans, and Colin Baker has disrespected fans, just look at his tweets around the casting, I will no longer support any of these people. And I was telling Noel the other day, I am done with New Who.
Yeah.
I'm done with these people. I'm done with the elitism. I supported you guys for years, and this is how we're treated. I'm not going to swear on your live stream, Noel. So
no, go on. You can go ahead because I don't really care because he is
okay. I will say this then. Fuck you, New Who. Fuck off and die, all of you. Doctor Who ended in 1989. Never thought I would say those words, but I am sick of these virtue signaling jackasses. And I'm sure some people have noticed I don't cover Doctor Who on my channel anymore. No, I don't. It'll be a very long time before I do again because I don't want to give them the attention. I don't care if this show is saved anymore. I'm completely ambivalent to it. I will just laugh when it finally gets canceled. But to be honest, all of you, and I'm including Big Finish in this, have shown nothing but disrespect for the fans. So fuck you. We're done. I was a lifelong Doctor Who fan, but frankly, after these past few months, I've had it with this shit. Hashtag fuck Doctor Who.
that is a new hashtag. I think that can be trending quite easily.
Yep. Well, I guess you guys were talking about Mr. Blockety Block, Paul Cornell.
Yes.
Apparently, he blocked a bunch of people right before the stream as a message. So if you look at his earlier tweet saying this is to unite everyone, well, no, this is to unite the 10% of people that like this shit, and the rest of us are no longer included. Well, that's good because you ain't going to be making any more money off me. And BBC, do you have any idea how much money you've made off me over the years?
I didn't even realize he mentioned my country last night.
Yep.
In one of his tweets, he says, "Is Gallifrey in Ireland? Sydney and Verity were originally Sarah and Harry in my final draft. Good choice from Russell."
Well, somebody's saying I'd stretch it to 1996. I love Paul McGann, but I want nothing to do with Big Finish, and he's a Big Finish doctor. Look at who Big Finish follows. Look at who Big Finish retweets.
Yeah.
It's these nasty, early little 20-something shits, yeah. And I'm not calling everybody in that age demographic, but we know exactly who we're talking about.
Yeah.
So they don't follow any of the real fans, any of us that have been here for decades. It's all about these little shits. And Big Finish, you've made thousands of dollars off me over the years, and I've been blocked by one of your former producers and now one of your former writers. So fuck you, Big Finish. I'm not in a good mood today, guys.
No, you're grand. This is what this stream was all about.
Did he
man.
block me too? Oh, he did. He did,
Listen,
Michael.
he's a dickhead. He's a dickhead. I agree with you. He's a dickhead. And he wrote this tweet as well, and I'm trying to find it. The one about canon, right? And he can screw. Do you know what? Here's the thing. As I said, he's a hypocrite anyway, because he tried to canonize the two human natures, tried to join those, link those two together, and then he talks about the canon doesn't even exist. Where's
like,
this?
He has this like multiverse thing going on.
Oh yeah, just a comment, Michael. Yeah, Paul McGann is so nice though. He is, but unfortunately, he's a Big Finish doctor, and I am boycotting Big Finish. So unfortunately, Paul McGann, because he's linked, has to go down with it. Eccleston, Tennant, Smith, Capaldi, Whitaker, they're all involved in this. Nobody has spoken up to stand up for the fans that are constantly being attacked. Nobody.
I did say
fuck them all.
This is what I say. I did say this. This is the way it's going to go. This is why I keep saying it. The people that keep saying they can understand why Moffat or RTD is not saying them, and they're clearly both playing both sides of the fence, but both sides. I'm sorry. That's unacceptable. I've been saying this for weeks. It's unacceptable. Either Moffat or RTD are on the fan side or they're on the feckin' BBC side. So they have to, I'm sorry, battle lines must be drawn. The lines must be drawn. You choose a side, right? If you don't like what I've been told, the two of them don't like the time to stay. If they don't like it, come out and say something. Because you would end this straight away. You would make Chris Chibnall's position really, really, he wouldn't be able to stay. He'd have to go.
All they need to do is apologize. Give us an apology. But to quote my friend Doomcock, without respect, we reject. I reject this shit. Doctor Who has been done since 1989.
This is just the reality the BBC have made. You have alienated so much of your fan base. But Bowlestrek here is not uncommon. You know, so many people who have loved Doctor Who all their life. And it's just dying on the vine, because every day another guy goes. Somebody maybe not as passionate as Bowles will go like, I just don't give a shit anymore. Who cares? Leave me alone.
Well, here's what I did yesterday. I told Noel about this after this whole debacle, which for me, there's been many final straws, but this was the final straw. As everybody knows, my channel used to be mainly DVDs and Blu-rays. I took every DVD and Blu-ray after 1989, put them in a box, dump them in a storage bin, and they can burn for all I care.
All right. Again, yeah.
This is another tweet from this sellout piece of shit. And he is a sellout piece of shit. Paul Cornell, the piece of... And actually, by the way, someone suggested that we get I was blocked by Paul Cornell t-shirts and actually the Twitter.
Apparently there's a lot.
I actually agree. And I think we should get those t-shirts done. I'm going to see, as soon as all this shit is over, I'm getting Paul Cornell t-shirts done.
You've been debating doing merch, Noel, so I think that would be a great idea.
Yeah, it would.
That's the question. The story when Big Finish started about Paul, not sure if it's about Paul Cornell. Maybe Noel knows more about it. Is that they had this big dinner at a pub where they had all the potential and very famous writers at the time, right?
Yeah.
And Nick Briggs was the guy who's writing the first story. And somebody came up to him and said, "Look, it needs to be a celebrity writer, and that darling just isn't you." Right? I always assume that was Paul Cornell. So, do you know? Do you have any information on that?
No,
Well, he did write. He did write an episode in series 1. So,
here's this tweet, and this sums this man up. He says, "I think the idea that Doctor Who has a canon was already lying in bits at the side of the road, but I hope tonight will help wash the concept gently into the gutter."
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Well, it's not Doctor Who anymore, so honestly, they can do whatever the fuck they want with canon. I don't give a shit.
See,
I'm just here to laugh at it.
We should have you're right, Bowlestrek, because this is the rhetoric they have been using for the past few years, and we never really we ignored it. But these last few years, especially, they've made it a bit. Well, canon doesn't really mean. I We all knew, but we just didn't want to believe it. And this is why I'm actually. Do you know why I'm angry? Right? I'm not angry just because of what they've done. I'm angry at myself because a lot of us knew that this was going to happen, but yeah,
nobody knew it was going to happen. This bad.
no, we did. All of us did. We did, and we didn't. We just didn't want to believe it. We just didn't want to believe it, and I'm sick of being fooled by these assholes as well. I'm sorry, they sucked me in with that Series 12 trailer. They did. They sucked a lot of fans in. They tricked a lot of fans. They really did.
It's and I can see that, Noel, because a lot of people have accused us of wanting to hate the show. Just to put this in context, I have been making videos on this subject for almost 3 years since the casting announcement was made, and you can watch those early videos. I didn't want to hate the show. I had my suspicions, and my initial suspicions were all proved correct. And you can see the timestamps are still on those videos, so I called a lot of this years ago. But it was worse than we could ever have imagined.
Exactly.
This show is dead.
Was just so it was the worst case scenario on steroids times 10. Like, I couldn't believe it. Okay, if somebody said, "Oh, it's going to be woke," yeah, fine. But nobody thought it would be this woke, this bad, this bland, this boring, this preachy. Nobody thought it'd be all these things. This is like a perfect storm of awful. There's so many bits of awful crashing against each other. You can't even quantify how awful it is, but it's pretty darn bad.
Right. Go ahead, Bowlestrek. Sorry, mate.
I'm just saying it's just shocking. But I stuck with this for years, and Noel, we were chatting off and on during Series 12, and I have to say, Series 12, even covering those, and Twitter, that was the most miserable time I've ever had on YouTube. To the point that, and Noel will attest to this, I actually almost left YouTube. It was that miserable, but I didn't leave YouTube. I'm not saying I won't cover Doctor Who anymore because that would make a bunch of jackasses far too happy. No, at some point it will come back, but only to laugh at it, only to watch it burn.
Yeah, it's gonna burn. And you know what? Here's the strange thing about it. I want to see it burn now, and I never thought I'd say that. I've always been, as you know, yourselves, being very quiet. Tried to be the optimistic one. I've always tried to see, they could still rescue this, but there's
and I can attest to this, guy. Yeah. Noel and I had discussions at the beginning of Series 12. Noel actually was optimistic about the first episode, so I have to give you credit. You've approached it. You did approach it objectively.
I was never optimistic about it. Was that the one that had the goofy bike chase in it with Jodie right?
That was part 2.
But Spyfall Part 1 was actually not a bad. Look, it wasn't great. See, I did lower my expectation, and I did say that, and I made it clear I did. But considering what we had got serious before, Spyfall Part 1 was a decent start. But it's when it came to the second episode, and then we got what we got after that then. I mean, the second episode, you go from the first episode where it's, okay, it's still not Doctor Who standard, but it's a little bit better than what you got in Series 11. But then by the time we get to the second episode, it's completely...
The problem you run into those, you just have Jodie Whittaker all the time being awful every second. Yeah, she's such a black hole of charisma and talent.
Well, did anybody see the video Jason put up yesterday?
Yeah,
that was wonderful.
That was epic.
Now you see, even the CGI in that video, and let's give Jason the credit there because that was brilliant, mate. Put a smile on everybody's face, I have to say. I wasn't expecting it, which was brilliant. That was the best part of that. I wasn't even expecting. I was like, why has he sent me here? And I'm looking at it and I said, why do I want to watch this shit? And then I saw the explosion and I was like,
I swear I watched it 15 times.
I know, I watched it a lot of times. I kept watching. I said, please do this, Chibnall. Please, 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 please. But seriously, brilliant, Jason. Well done, man. And you see, that's how you do it. That's how you don't get struck with copyright. See, he was able to get an original clip and then add something to it. And to us, it was hilarious. Obviously, to the other side, they'd be they toxic. But here's another tweet by Paul Cornell. He wrote, I wanted the Dr. Martha to wear the white poppy, as in the novel. But the difference between audiences, mainstream one, that would need explaining, niche one would, who could have a book explaining is everything. But I kind of think that needs fixing. I don't know what the if anybody actually from the. I just wanted to read out because I'm interested what the white poppy. I know about the red poppy and it's controversial. It can be controversial, let's be honest. But what's the white poppy for?
It's the white poppy is a flower used as a symbol of peace, worn either in place or in addition to a red remembrance poppy for the Remembrance Day and the Anzac Day.
So why would that be explaining in Doctor Who? I don't know. I just thought I'd put that up because I never heard.
Well, he's calling people idiots. He's showing elitism in that tweet.
I see.
So mainstream. So listen to that, everybody who's a mainstream audience, which I'm assuming includes everybody he blocked. We're idiots because Paul Cornell and his elite jackass friends know better than we do.
By the way, you probably didn't see this tweet, but I put this up before you came on, so I want to show you this. But hold on, I have to get it now. I don't know why I keep doing this. But yeah, look again. As I said at the start of this stream, this all started with me and him when he asked the fans a question about the timeless children. And as I said, I know when and Bowlestrek will tell you this, when it comes to Doctor Who writers or acting like that, and I even see fans going in and having a go, I don't like that sort of stuff. So even though I am militant, I knew that I had to word me tweet in a certain way that wasn't coming across as, nasty. And
they view any criticism as evil.
It wasn't a nasty tweet. All I just said was, I don't think fans are going to like the fact the foundation of the Time Lords is now based on the fact that a child was murdered and experimented on. And then before you know it, the next day, I was blocked. Right, where's this tweet? Because I want you, yeah. So, Bowlestrek, you're going to love this one, right? Because, as I said earlier, these watch-alongs or tweet-alongs were, as we were told, were organised by Emily Cook from Doctor Who magazine. And I will say, credit where credit is due, fair play to her. She has actually, on certain of them, brought the fans there. I mean, last week's one was epic. We were part of that, and last week's one was epic. To see 5 million tweets by the fans, it was absolutely sensational.
Well, here's what we've seen is, this. Some people were seeing this as, okay, Doctor Who is united. Well, how long did that last?
Exactly.
All the goodwill was killed yesterday.
Exactly.
It really was, wasn't it? I'm surprised, but it really was.
But here, you're going to love this tweet, Bowlestrek. So I'll read it out again. I've read this already.
Oh no, I retweeted that one. Yeah, right. The starry-eyed girl sent it to me.
So apparently all the content that we have received over this lockdown, we owe a round of applause to Chris Chibnall. Now, I don't know about you, but this is what I'd have to say in response to that. Fuck you.
Yeah. He had nothing to do with it.
Exactly. Here's the thing, right? Don't be trying to dig Chris Chibnall out of a hole, you plank. Right? Now, I know you're up to something. And I suspect, as I said at the start of the stream, that everybody knows that Chris Chibnall is leaving after Series 13. And there's a scramble for people to brown nose him, basically, and try get the job. right?
God, yeah, the guy has barely written anything in years.
Well, here's the thing: if you look at his tweets, they seem to be designed to show Chris Chibnall in some sort of positive light, and he's come out and strongly defended because he wouldn't be blocking the people that he's blocking if he wasn't defending. So he defends this straight out, right? He is looking, I'm telling you now, and I said this at the start of the stream, don't be surprised if he's trying to get the job, right? And he's probably said to Chris Chibnall as well, and it's all starting to make sense to me. He's coming out and defending the timeless children. Then he could turn around and say, well, listen, after you leave, I won't do anything about the timeless. I'll actually add on to it, and we'll make sure that it's set in stone. So he's probably looking to take over, because we do know there is a scramble. Because I've heard as well that RTD and Moffat are also interested. Now, they've played both sides of the fence. They've had a go at Chris Chibnall, but also kind of come out and defended the timeless children and what Chris Chibnall has done to canon. And again, I'd say to those two, well, fuck you as well. Because how dare you play both sides in a situation like this? The fans right now would actually love if you two guys came out straight and said, no, this is wrong. This is not what Doctor Who's supposed to be. Listen for a minute, right? For anybody out there that says for 1 second that RTD and Moffat would ruin their career, you haven't got a clue, right? I'll tell you why. If they come out and said that, do you think fans like me are not going to get behind them, support them, write to the BBC and demand that they're reinstated as showrunners of Doctor Who? Do you not think that fans don't have that power? We have a lot of power. Look what's happened. How many times have they come out to defend the timeless children with articles? How many times have we had statements from the BBC?
Can I bring a point up?
Go on.
What is it if there's a way of getting rid of him without him being without them having to do all that?
Well, then all he has to do then is just do the decent thing and step down.
Well, yeah.
All he has to say, listen, he can say face. All he has to say is, I've done 2 years.
Right.
Christmas special for the festive special is the last one. I'm riding into the sunset. See you later. That's all he needs to do. He doesn't need to drag this on for another series.
If there's not a shock announcement after the seasonal whatever one, the Christmas or the New Year. And it's
a funny discussion that Jodie Whittaker is regenerating in the festive special, and John Martin is going to be the Doctor for Series 13. That's what I believe is going to happen. Seriously, I was given information and it's all screen ranted that article. Listen, when they start doing articles, there's something in it. Someone is getting inside information somewhere, right? Now, this was also spoke about at the time when we seen her on Series 12. It was spoke about at the time as well. There was people coming up with theories, but doesn't seem to be a theory. There's serious talk that the reason why she was introduced is she's going to take over from Jodie Whittaker.
So, listen, I'm going to float something out there.
Go on.
Again, if the worst case scenario, well, it's not the worst case scenario, if we're going to see a Joe Martin Paul Cornell season, I think, look, for me, I think that has the potential to be watchable Doctor Who. I liked her better than Whittaker. She knows the role better than Whittaker. He's certainly a better writer than Chibnall.
I agree, but listen, here's the thing. Fans don't whether the BBC like it or not, right? Fans have had enough of it's over. They don't want another female Doctor. And it doesn't matter that Joe what her skin colour is, right? It's nothing to do with that. Fans don't want another female Doctor now. They don't want another female Doctor. They have spoken. 68% of this 68% of the public or the family, whatever way you want to look at it, from Series 11 to the end of this series, have walked away. They don't want it. They've already proven they don't want it. The Origins trailer also proves it as well. BBC need to open their fucking eyes and realize it's over.
I think the BBC thinks that if they make I think they need to make a change, but if they just change Whittaker, I think they're fine.
And I disagree that Joe Martin's better, and I'll tell you why.
Right.
Because she won't have any substance, because she'll still be written the same way. It doesn't matter who they bring in, as long as Chris Chibnall and his writing team's there. It doesn't matter if Paul Cornell comes in. He's already proven that he's a Chibnall person. So we'll continue. He'll be worse. Yes, the writing be better, but we'll still get all the virtual signaling. And I'm sorry, it's not good enough anymore. Doctor Who is dead. I agree.
Did you see the sequel thing? The thing with the Jodie?
I watched a few minutes of it, but I didn't. I can't. I just can't.
It's interesting in that he completely nailed Jodie's Doctor. In that she released for no reason, effectively. For no reason whatsoever, she released a psychopathic, murderous maniac. That the only reason the thing didn't murder her is because she left before she had a chance to.
Well, in fairness, the doctor did feel sorry for Daughter of Mine.
Okay, so let me ask you, is it okay? Let's say you got a murderous monster cage, and you feel mercy for it. So then you release the murderous monster, and it kills 50 people. Now, that your compassion at that point, added with your stupidity, has created a net greater loss. That is this doctor.
Yep.
Can I just say something briefly? I've just had to check in on Twitter. I won't say who the person is, but do me a favor. We don't want you tweeting Big Finish or Nicholas Briggs or mentioning Colin Baker's name on tweets and basically telling them to F you. That's not what we want. We are just giving our opinion. We know fans are angry, but there's no need for you to go to the people directly and be sending them any tweets. Okay? Yeah. You can express your anger in the live chat here. We're expressing our anger because we are angry. But don't cross the line. Don't cross the line. Just, you know what I mean.
Just speak with your silence. And,
exactly. Speak with your silence, because it doesn't look good when you tweet me and when you tag me in Bowlestrek in a tweet when you're directing it at people. And I know I don't want that, right? I know you are angry. If you want to express your anger, do it in the live chat. There's as I said already during this stream, the reins have been let off a little bit tonight because I don't really give a shit anymore.
We can discuss them here. Just don't go after them directly.
Colin Baker should be ashamed of himself, and so should Janet. But at the end of the day, it's not our job to put them in line. We can discuss what they said. And it's the same about Paul Cornell. Yeah, I dislike him. I think he's vile. But there's no point of directly going after him. You know what I mean? He doesn't go after fans. He just blocks fans. So
I didn't add him in my tweets. Well, I couldn't because I'm blocked.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's just let them crash and burn. But just remember, folks, Doctor Who, the fandom after this season, I'm talking real Doctor Who fans, was hanging by a thread. So you can look at Paul Cornell and what he did yesterday as to what finally killed Doctor Who fandom. Because this just look at Twitter. This wasn't a little thing. This is what finally, after all these years, killed Doctor Who fandom. So congratulations, Paul Cornell. I hope you're happy.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you, because I'm really not on Twitter. What happened? Like he did the thing about Chibnall. What happened? Explain it to somebody who's a complete Twitter idiot, which I am.
What he did was he put up. Actually, here I'll pull up the thing on my Twitter. Just give me a second. I'll read his. Just got to find it right here. So,
if you want to screen share it.
I really want tonight's event to be about all of us, the whole community. So I want to rope in fan creators, RT, as much as I can, encompass rather than broadcast. So he wanted this to be about the whole community. Then he blocked everyone. So this is about the specific Doctor Who community.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, so it's just the hypocrisy.
I went and had a look at the artist part of the work that he roped in, and he wanted the whole community. And as I said, it was all the Rainbow Warrior artists.
Yeah, now I hear what you're saying. Yeah,
so it's like it was.
I wasn't saying it because I'm having a pop at them. He says he's contradicting himself. He's basically saying he's roping in all the fandom, but he doesn't. It's all about the fandom, and it's not. It's clearly not, because he's blocking people. And then when he gets people to do the animation or whatever, they're all the Rainbow Warriors that have a problem with us because apparently we're all homophobic and sexist and shit because we're stopping them from getting whatever they want. Listen, I proved in a video on the Irish Geek the way Star Wars fans, no, sorry, they're not Star Wars fans, they're fake Star Wars fans, right? I showed their mentality, right? All they're interested in is what's between the legs of the characters that are in the show. They don't give it. Doctor,
this was actually this was done deliberately, Noel, because if you look at it, I really want tonight's event to be about us, the whole community. Yeah. Then he chain blocked everybody he doesn't agree with, apparently right before it went live. Exactly. So what this is a very clear statement from a verified Twitter account that has been involved with New Who and Big Finish that we are not part of that community. We're not wanted, so you won't have us anymore, and I wish you luck going forward. So that's very clearly what he was trying to do here. This wasn't coincidental. He did this on purpose.
By the way, I have another tweet to show you that you will like, actually, because there is a Doctor Who former writer out there.
Oh, actually, Noel, I just have to step away for a quick minute, but I'll be right back.
I'll put it up on the oak and we'll wait for you anyway. But where did I put this?
Yeah, that's the short story they did after. I'm really tempted to write my own. I kind of just wrote a sequel to that one in my head.
Rabbi, listen, right? I would rather read what you have to write, to be quite honest, than read what anybody in that has anything to do with Doctor Who right now. And I'm not just saying that. I'm serious. I would rather read what you have to offer than what those clowns have to offer right now. I'm serious. And you know what? But listen, you showed that I only seen one page of that Dr. Woke comic, and you seen how that spread like wildfire all over the internet. People loved you for that. And that was one little page that we all read.
I get much more feedback for my channel.
That was so fun. And, you know, I mean, there's talented writers out there. Because, you know, BBC are tapping into the wrong personality as well. Bowlestrek is right. It's all mid, and it is. It is. You look at them all. Emily Cook, Beth from the Time Ladies. She's one part of the Time Ladies. They're a double act, right? You've got all the people on the Time team, right? Look at them all. They're a certain demographic, right? They've got certain politics and certain ideology. But the one big startling thing is that they're all in their mid-20s, right? Where's the balance? I said this when the old Time team was dismantled, right? They had a balance. Where's the balance now? It's all mid-20s fans. They don't represent all of the fans, right? There's older fans that should be part of that Time team, but it was a very clever ploy by Ben Cook, who actually set it all up, and others like Crystal D, as we know. She actually wrote up an interesting tweet, actually, about how she was reminiscing about all the Who content that she used to do. Now, I'm going to say something about Crystal D. I've had personal battles with that woman, but I will say one thing. Before we got into all this nonsense, our Doctor Who content was actually very good, and she put a lot of smile on people's faces, but she became very militant, like a lot of them. And it's sad and unfortunate because, you know, she has got talent. And I have to be honest, the girl does have talent. I just wish she'd use her talents for the good rather than trying to upset people and shake up the fandom. She didn't need to do that. The fandom didn't need any shaking up. The fandom was already fully on board with everything that you wanted to do. But we wanted you to do it in a proper way within the context of the show. But unfortunately, you know, you wanted to ram certain stuff down their throats, and it didn't go down well. And that's just the bottom line. And you just have to, you know, as I said, we're the customers, right? And BBC provide us with a service. If that service is not up to scratch, well, then I'm sorry. You know, of course we're going to complain. You mean to tell me that we don't have any right to complain because according to Chibnall and others, it's not a democracy? Well, it is, mate, whether you like it or not. If you want cash, if you want to make the BBC money for that TV show, well, then you better not piss off your...
No, the incredible thing is this, that they didn't have to. Up until 2 months ago, they didn't have to. And the reason they didn't have to, because we lived in such an incredible economy. The reason we lived in such an incredible economy is because the person they can't stand winning an election. That's really just the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, it's an absolute joke that we've gotten to this stage. But listen, he's not the only rider, and I know we're only kind of focusing on him. And the reason why we're focusing on him is because obviously what he done last night. But let's remember, there's others in this fandom that have Twitter accounts that will refuse to let any fans talk about this era because it obviously causes a lot of grief, which I can understand. But they're the right kind of people. They're doing it right, though. You know what I mean? Then you have others that allow opinions, but then as soon as there's negative opinions, then you're blocked. So he's not the only one. There's been a few out there if they don't like your opinion. Now, I am notorious with the other side of the fandom. They're aware of who I am. So anytime I do comment on anything, they don't actually like what I have to say. But I did get sent this tweet, and we'll wait for when Bowlestrek can join us again. He probably is taking care of Lexi, so we'll give him a few minutes anyway. But there was one tweet. Where is it? That I got sent. And it's interesting. Have you want to add anyway, Rabbi, while I'm looking here?
Actually, you know something I heard that was interesting. You heard about the new Star Wars series they announced?
Yeah, the female the female one.
Turns out, well, the woman who
Harvey Weinstein's personal assistant. Yeah,
So,
she probably knew about some of the stuff that Harvey Weinstein got involved in. It's quite ironic, really.
Yeah. No, that's not the issue. The issue is this. Turns out she probably didn't have the show greenlit, and the reason it was her people that announced it. So and she's like in the alphabet community, so it's going to be hard to like not run with it now. And that is just a real typical way Harvey Weinstein would do business. You know, that's really.
Oh, so she forced the issue basically. So
Yeah,
she put it out there. No, that's dirty. There is, but you're right.
Perfect.
That's the kind of tactics they use, though.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're right. They don't want to. These people then don't want to kind of. These people don't want to kind of like the likes of Disney and stuff and Marvel. They don't want to kind of turn them down because it does look bad. You're right. It's and I mean, have you seen her? She does look like she'd kill you. She looks like she'd put her hands around your throat and she'd snap your neck in 2 seconds. I actually watched the video as well where she actually came out and called all women she called white women, I'm calling you bitches out. She says, right. Yeah, she's nice. She is. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she's nice.
She's crazy.
Yeah, I'd marry her. Yeah. If I was living on a fucking parallel bleeding universe and I was pussy whipped. Oh, you're not allowed to say that anymore, apparently. Ooh, who gives a shit? I don't care about this stream, to be honest with you. This stream had to be done. This stream definitely had to be done because there's just certain things things that need to be spoke about. And I'm sorry, This Paul Cornell fella is just he's bang out of order. He has no
right. Again, the big takeaway from this is at the time when his employment is shrinking by a factor of 70% minimally. His employment opportunity is shrinking by a factor of 70%. He's alienated himself from 50% of his audience. You know, it's like, why would any publisher go with him right now? Why? For what? Who needs the headache?
Well, obviously there seems to be a demand for them because, you know, as I said,
that was 2 months ago. Everything stopped. It's all over. Well, we're the new customer. Like, we're the people they have to please.
Well, I agree with you, but they're living in some sort of bloody bubble, man.
Yes, they're living in the bubble. We're watching it burst again.
Now I know who sent me the tweet because I wanted to get this tweet up for ages and I forgot who sent it to me, but I know who sent it to me now. So we'll wait for Bowlestrek to come back, but I'll put it up on the screen just as a reminder for everybody what was actually said. But as we know, it's at least there is a couple of writers out there that have common sense and have always had common sense. And Gareth, you know what? I said that I really am trying. I want to get this man on this channel. I would love to interview him, but I want to interview him about his Doctor Who stuff and whatever other projects he has. If he does want to delve into this a little bit, then of course I'm not going to hesitate to ask a few questions. But obviously, if I can arrange something, he'll obviously have certain rules in place, which is fine. Fair enough. I understand that. It'll just be a pleasure to get him on because I still do support the man. I think he was cancelled unfairly. I mean, look, if you're going to go back and look at tweets from people that have written up 4 or 5 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was, it's probably it's 4 now, right? But if you go back and you find someone's tweets and you use them against them to cancel them, that's below the belt. And we're living in a cancel culture, unfortunately. But I support him. But of course, as soon as I did, I was actually called transphobic, and I was actually called all sorts of other names as well. How could you support Gareth Roberts? So just to kind of reiterate to those fans out there, I still support Gareth Roberts, and no, I am not transphobic. I support the man's right to have those views, and I support the man's right also to tell jokes in the context that he told them, because back then in those days nobody gave a shit. But all of a sudden, 3 years later, people did. This is what's happened. In 3 years, we've gone from a society that was kind of, you know, we were on the verge, but we still had common sense about us. And 3 years later now, the society is run by a bunch of fucking lunatics.
Really is it?
The lunatic in asylum, and now they're running the mad show. And this is what we've got, ladies and gentlemen. Gobshites like Paul Cornell and others like Chris Chibnall, and who else? Who could we put else in that category? JJ, Kurtzman, all these other fucking idiots that think they're actually great writers and have these. Look, at the end of the day, Paul Cornell wrote 2 good stories, right? Doctor Who. I can't off the top of my head how many stories altogether he wrote. But he's a piece of writer. But you know what? For the fact that he has the politics that he has and the ideology that he has, it rules him out for Doctor Who. I'd rather get someone in like Gareth Roberts, as I said, who would be more balanced in their views.
Yeah, look, I completely hear what you're saying there, but still, Paul Cornell, his books were really fantastic. But you know, it's interesting what you say about Gareth Roberts. If you had a Gareth Roberts with any of these people, you would have a situation that would be similar to Barry Letts and Terrence Dicks, which are basically like Gareth Roberts and Terrence Dicks. They're basically in the same ballpark.
So there it is again. Anyway, that Gareth Roberts.
Yeah, it's funny. Look, no, it's getting late for me. I think I'm gonna have to go in a minute. I'm running out of steam. That's what I'm doing.
No problem, mate. No problem. Listen, sure. Me and Bowlestrek will I'll wait for Bowlestrek to come back. We'll do a few more minutes and then we'll probably call it a night. If you want to give a shout out what videos you're doing, obviously we're on again tomorrow, so I'll see you tomorrow anyway. But have you anything dropping on your channel later?
Sorry?
Have you any videos dropping on your channel later or anything?
No, tomorrow will be, again, I'm definitely going to do one that's Paul Cornell, which is just like, he just doesn't understand the world shifted under his feet.
Yeah.
Doesn't get it at all. Like, oh boy, he so doesn't get it. I feel bad for him. Again, simpering out, it might work in the short term, whatever. So I got one about that. Yeah, absolutely. See what's going on in the news. There's a lot. I want to do another follow up about that Star Wars story because that's such a move that Harvey Weinstein would make to blackmail somebody into doing a show.
Yeah, I was thinking now that'd be my first video on the Irish Geek. But listen, I was actually talking to Bowlestrek last night, and I have the second channel there, but I was kind of thinking with all this crap going on with Doctor Who, my channel is kind of going to be in a bit of a limbo situation.
Right.
So I was kind of thinking maybe, now I don't know what you guys think. Now listen, I'm not going to rebrand the channel because it's too much hassle and everybody knows what the Tardis zone is. But it's that I was thinking maybe, instead of putting videos up on the Irish Geek, I could probably leave that as a gaming channel and just do other stuff on that. But maybe I was thinking I could start slowly doing videos on Star Wars. There's going to be other shows as well that I'm interested in. Now, I know a lot of you subscribe to me because of the Doctor Who stuff. I'm not saying I'm never going to do Doctor Who stuff. Me and Rabbi are still going to be doing the watch-alongs and stuff. But I want to be able to do other stuff on the channel because if I don't, the channel's not going to survive. And that's just the bottom line. I have to be honest with you. And that's the bottom line. If I continue just to do Doctor Who content, the channel's not going to survive.
So, as a subscriber of yours, I would say I like you to do more stuff. I like you to broaden your focus. It's not just I'm interested in whatever you have to say and whatever you have to say.
Right. Well, I hopefully there's everybody else out there agrees with you. So yeah. So we'll see. I'll start doing other streams and other videos on different content on this channel, and we'll see how they go. But listen, I'm still going to do Doctor Who stuff. I just think it'll be stupid for me to do the videos on the Irish Geek when I've already got subscribers on this channel, and I'm only doing Doctor Who. Yeah, we've kind of done the odd bit here and there, but we've already got the subscribers here, and a lot of you do follow the other guys that do other stuff as well. So it probably makes sense for me to. Because I know I did, I do remember I did a new Child's Play. I watched that movie and I did a review, and I actually did enjoy doing that. And that was months and months ago.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's the core of it. I do stuff. That's my own stuff. I do stuff I enjoy that I do and I enjoy. That's the easiest videos for me to do. I enjoy stuff. I don't just enjoy Doctor Who. I enjoy lots of stuff.
Yeah. Right, Rabbi, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you tomorrow, pal. Thanks for coming.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye.
And quickly, Noel, do you do Mario playthrough night all? Mario streams, I don't know what the situation is with Mario on being on YouTube. The difficulty that I have is I don't actually have a handheld camera. I use a laptop, so I have to set it up in a way that the laptop is actually facing the TV while I'm playing it. I do have Mario 1 and I do have Mario 3 because I love Super Mario. I'd love to do Mario streams, but I don't know what YouTube would be like with copyright. Because I do know when I start doing FIFA streams, they start getting taken down, and then I figured out that I had to kill the music. So I don't know how it works on YouTube, but I will actually check it out because I wouldn't mind doing a Mario stream because Mario is one of my favorite games. But again, guys, as you can see, there's the tweet from Paul Cornell. We'll wait for Bowlestrek to come back anyway. We'll just finish up and then we'll see what Bowlestrek has to say about this tweet, and then we'll finish up and let him go out because he's probably busy anyway. It's you know, he said he had about an hour anyway, so we've passed that now. So we'll just give him a few minutes anyway. Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know what you guys think of the whole Paul Cornell situation, but all I will say is when you have writers like that clearly draw a line and basically say, well, you're wrong as a fan, as a customer, well then, you know, you're in, you know that it's there's no point. And he's not the only one, but this was just, again, as I said, he unblocked some people and then he mass blocked people as well. 45 minutes before the actual thing. And actually, if people want proof of that, hold on, I'll try get it up now, right? It should be on my profile actually. Where's my profile? Nice. I will still use the Irish Geek. All I'm just saying is that I might use it as a gaming stream or something where we do retro games and stuff like that. So hold on, where is this tweet? Yeah, Doctor Who canon. Here we go. Here it is. So this is just to show you. So there's another bloke actually. It's quite funny there. I didn't realize this was here. So he's blocked, this guy here. He got blocked and he has no idea, right? Why? Oh, this guy is grateful too. So Hoovian Leap, yeah. And these guys have actually defended Series 11 and 12 up to a point. They're not as radical as me, but Paul Cornell has graciously agreed to unblock me, and I'm very happy and grateful. I've added him to my watch-along list. So there you go. I mean, what's this about North Korea? China sends medical experts. Oh, he's not. Is he? Is he dead? Nah, this is. I haven't a clue. I don't think he is. I think it's just people speculating. Let's see. Right, there's some experts gone over and people are just in overdrive speculating. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. You know, but that would be That would be that'd be an interesting situation. Very interesting. I know it's been going on for days. Yeah, I knew that he hasn't been well. There's been speculation about his health. He had an operation in April, and he didn't show up at an anniversary event. So there's been speculation ever since then. So, yeah, it is interesting because obviously, you know, some believe the world would be a better place if he wasn't around, especially his own people, I suppose. Or they're brainwashed so much that they probably would actually, you know, be devastated, as we have seen in the past. But be under no illusion, if something was to happen to him, there's already a replacement in his sister. So, I mean, or they'll get someone else. So, I mean, it's not going to make a difference unless North Korea completely changes their policies. But yeah, let's get that Gareth Roberts tweet back up anyway, because I want to end on what Bowlestrek actually has to say on this this tweet. Where are we? Well, I tell you, he certainly doesn't like Paul Cornell. It's clear to see that there's some animosity there. Be interesting to know if these two clashed actually. Because it just seems a little bit. There we go. Back to that tweet again. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on what's happening in the other place far, far away in the country that, you know, that's weird. Let's be honest. Listen, Doctor Who. Exactly. Doctor Who will come back. It has this knack. And unlike Star Wars, I think Star Wars is screwed. I think Star Trek can still be revived because there's different spin-off shows, so they can fix this. Whereas Doctor Who, right now, the best thing for it is to go away. Someone then come back and try fix all of this, but it's going to be a lot harder. It's going to be a lot harder than people think. And here's the thing as well: if anything that shows any evidence that when fans have had enough, they've had enough, Westworld would be the perfect example of that. Series 1, it got cult following. Series 2, apparently they went woke, and they lost a lot of the viewers during Series 2. Then they released Series 3, which I heard is a huge, huge improvement. And they've actually toned everything down. But it's too late. They've lost their audience, and the audience is not coming back. And this is the thing. Will Doctor Who fans, especially the ones that haven't liked this era, will they ever come back? And that's the question. I'm not so sure now. I'm not so sure. It doesn't matter if the show was to go back to some sort of former glory. I do believe that the damage has been done, and I don't believe fans will embrace it. This show needs to go away for at least, I never thought I'd say this, maybe 5, 6, 7 years. And then see where the fandom is. But there's going to be a lot of fans that are not going to be able to forgive. And as you've heard from Bowlestrek, and there's many others that feel the same way. Doctor Who died in 1989. they have now gotten to the point where they reject all of New Who. And, you know, it is sad to see, but I don't blame anybody that does that, to be honest with you. It's what Chibnall has done to them. You know, he has tainted everything they love. He's destroyed everything. And he has. And he's still not finished. And that's the thing. It's crazy. It's crazy. Right, I'm gonna just check and just make sure everything is make sure everything is all right. Yeah. Let me see, where are we? Where are you? I just want to make sure. Now, let me see. Let me see who's in the chat anyway. On this 40 is watching, do us a favor, guys. If you have liked this stream tonight, do us a favor, hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, this is your first time listening, do us a favor, sub to us there, and you know there'll be a lot more content like this. We'll be obviously branching out a little bit as well. Let's just see. I probably won't be able to say hello to you all, but I'll try get as many of you in. CJ Campbell, John Michael Fink is here. Marty is here. Gary, Super John. Who else have we got? We've got Marty, Gary, Sanctuary of Geeks, Daniel, Matthew, Carl is here as well. Problem being, who else have we got? We got Colin, we've got Leland, welcome. We've got Derek McManus, welcome. Who else have we got? We've got Dave as well. Dave is here. Welcome, Dave. We got Daniel, the birthday boy. Welcome. Charlotte is here as well. Who else have we got? I just want to make sure that I don't skip any new names. Michael Richardson.
Sorry, guys, here. I'm back.
And here he is. I was just gonna say. I've got that tweet up. I don't know if you've seen it from Gareth Roberts, but Gareth Roberts is actually not happy with Paul Cornell. So he's had a bit of a pop there, Bowlestrek. So there's the tweet there. I don't know if you can actually read it, but if you want me to read it out, I'll read it out. So he says,
crap.
He says, remember, kids, Cornell is here to save you from races like Sula Braverman. Look, Sharma, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing these names properly. Risiji Zunek, James Cleverly, and Priti Patel. And it was in response to this tweet. It was important for us to feature the racism, to show it. And in a few years' time, men like that will be running the country. So, yeah. God. So, you know, Gareth Roberts, you know, you can clearly see that Gareth Roberts.
He's bitter. He was canceled.
Yes. So, and this little shill here, Paul Cornell, obviously this would annoy him. But it's interesting to see the contrast between two former writers of Doctor Who. And you know what? It's such a pity that Gareth Roberts hasn't been asked to do something for this, because to be honest with you, it'd probably be the best thing that we've gotten, to be honest, because it's balanced. You know, as I said, the man is balanced, but he clearly does not like Paul Cornell. There is some animosity there, but yeah.
Paul Cornell just destroyed the fandom. Like this, he did this on purpose. This whole thing was coordinated to send a message to the non-Jody bots, and message received, as I've said a few times. And people ask, yeah, no, Lexi's okay. Long story short, we've been having some issues in the building, and in the building I live in, and the property owners, who we almost never see, came in. So me and another one of the other tenants spent the last half hour giving them a blast of shit. So my frustrations are eased. It was fun.
Nice. Well, I'm glad stuff is getting sorted anyway. Yeah, it's the same. My building as well. You hardly ever see these clowns, and then
Oh, we saw them and we cornered them.
Yeah, that's it, man. And it has to be the same here. When we get a little sniff that one of them is round, we're all, oh, we need to speak to you. And it's always like, I'll catch you in the road. No, we need to speak to you now.
No, I saw them pull up. A very good friend of mine who's just a couple apartments over, knocked on his door. I'm like, they're here. So, yeah, we had fun. So sorry I had to leave, everyone, but I'm back.
No, you're grand. I just wanted I was going to actually tweet you there. I actually sent you a message in the private chat just in case.
Okay, yeah. All is good. It was cathartic.
Right, good.
And the problems are getting fixed.
Good. Well, brilliant. That's fantastic news. But what do you think of this tweet anyway? Can I ask your personal opinion? And
well, I covered the Gareth Roberts situation, which was almost a year ago. I think it was last June, if I remember correctly.
You call transphobic like me, Bowlestrek.
And here's the thing: Roberts is gay. He's LGBT. So, and they still canceled him.
Yeah, and I said to that boy earlier, they will cancel anybody. It doesn't matter who they are. They will cancel anybody that stands in their way.
This is actually notable because he has written for New Who. So I think this might be the only time when I've seen somebody speak up for the 90% of people that have been, as of yesterday, officially excommunicated.
Yeah. And it's such a shame. I don't know. I mean, this man got cancelled over tweets that he sent a few years back. Now, anybody who doesn't know the background of the story, I'll tell you very quickly. Now, it's all common knowledge. So the people's names that I'm mentioning here, there are people involved whose names I won't mention, but the people's names that are common knowledge, I will mention. So Gareth Roberts was involved in a collaboration where there was a bunch of stories going to be put in this book. And one of the writers happened to be a writer called Susie Day. Now, I have shown people her profile. If you go in and check her out, you'll see what she's all about, and straight away you'll see where the problem is. Now, apparently this is what happened. Now, I can't give names to the other people involved, but apparently what happened was that Susie Day wasn't happy with what she saw with the Gareth Roberts tweets from 3 years ago. But here's the problem. These tweets were, what I was told, were deliberately seeked out.
Well, actually, Noel, I just pulled up my video on it. I don't know. Am I a moderator? I don't know if I am, but I can actually post my video from about a year ago that broke it down.
Yeah, you can post it on the chat there, man. No problem.
Oh no, yeah. I think you have to make me a moderator. Oh yeah, no, I've never been a moderator.
I'll do that now. Hang on then. That'll be fine. I know you being moderator on my channel, that's brilliant. I'm only messing, but you know what I mean. Yeah, test. You say you wrote test. Hold on now. I'm doing this on my phone, so I'll take a few seconds because I don't want to, because if I mess with the bleeding stream, it always goes off. But anyway, what happened was, what I was told was, anyway, these tweets were deliberately, they knew that he was controversial. So his Twitter account was scoured until they came across these three tweets. These 3 tweets then were made sure they were shown to you know who, Susie Day. She then felt uncomfortable, is what she said. She came out with a statement then to justify the fact that Gareth Roberts was kicked off this project. It was actually quite sinister. But there's another couple of people that were involved that we know, but I can't mention them. But all I'll just say is it was all women involved in the takedown of Gareth Roberts, and it wasn't very nice. Right, where's that tweet? Oh, there it is. There. So we make Bowlestrek add moderator. There you go, pal. You're moderator now.
Let's test this. So I just added a link. So it's from June 6th, 2019. So yeah, this was a video where I broke down the whole situation. If you want to see the background,
and I have to say, Bowlestrek's breakdown is better than the way I covered it, but I did cover it as well. But watch Bowlestrek's version because Bowlestrek breaks it down better than anybody else. But this was planned. His cancellation was planned, right? This wasn't like, this was all manufactured. Susie Day was not uncomfortable, right? I don't believe it for 1 second. This was deliberately done. And he's not the only rider. They basically, listen, Gareth Roberts' takedown was a warning to any other rider out there. If you don't fall in line, that's what's going to happen. And maybe that's why Paul Cornell is doing what he's doing. But when you look at what other stuff that he tweets, he's all about himself. This guy is like the rest of them. He just has this. He's self-entitled. He believes that he should be able to do this, that, and the other. And when he comes out and defends what Chris Chibnall has done, right? And then he says to us then, oh, by the way, you also have to give Chris Chibnall a round of applause because this is all down to him. He's the one that came up with all of this. And we know that it was Emily Cook that came up with this. So all the new Who content that we've been getting, Chris Chibnall apparently has been responsible for that. For what? Because he begged RTD to do something Who related. So he did something, and then Moffat decided to do something. That's not that's no reason to give Chris Chibnall applause. That just goes to show you that Chris Chibnall was incapable of actually taking on this project and actually doing something and writing new material because he's a brain dead sawdust idiot. Seriously, he's got sawdust between his heads. You've seen it. Series 11, Series 12. He just can't cut it. He can't cut it that when he did write a short story, it was mocked because it looked like a 7-year-old had written it. He hasn't got a clue. He's been made a show off by these other people as well. It's absolutely ridiculous. He doesn't deserve a round of applause. He deserves something else, to be quite honest. But I won't say. But I tell you one thing, he should be given his P45, and anybody associated with him as well shouldn't have anything to do with Doctor Who. It's as simple as that. We said this at the time, and I did say Series 11, the show was mortally wounded. But again, like everybody else, I kind of denied it to myself. I tried to see the positive, right? But there was no positive. But Series 12 just basically, if it was already buried, it was dug back up and buried again. It's done. It's done. The timeless children's story arc killed everything. And the plot holes in it are actually ridiculous anyway. Whereas I said, if you base, as I said, the foundation of the Time Lords on murder and experimentation of a child, and you expect fans to accept that, the Origins trailer proved that fans have rejected it, but they're still going the same course. Just like Disney. Look at what Disney are doing now. Apparently, they've hired Harvey Weinstein's ex-personal assistant, and they're doing a Star Wars female-led franchise. Oh, apparently now Rabbi said that her company actually jumped the gun and put it out there before Disney had even green-lighted it. Now, if Disney backs down, they're going to look like a bunch of, as everybody will call them, homophobes, transphobic, whatever. They'll call them something with an ism, right? So they'll have to do it now. And she looks like a sinister. I don't know if you've seen her, but as I said earlier on to Rabbi, she looks like she choked the life out of you. She looks like a woman actually you don't want to mess with, though. And that's being honest. She does. She looks great. She even called white women out. She called them, I'm calling you bitches out. That's what she said in the video. I watched that on Twitter. She is one crazy motherfucker. And I guarantee you, I don't know what Bowlestrek thinks of all of this, but I can guarantee you this Star Wars female-led series will be just a virtual signal piece of propaganda, and it will kill. Well, it's already, look at Star Wars fans have came to the realization Star Wars is dead, but this is gonna actually put the final nail in the coffin. What do you think? Do you think that this is actually going to happen? And if it does, do you agree? Do you think it's the final nail now? It's done. Star Wars is finished.
Oh, Star Wars is over. The whole everything with Star Wars right now, I just find it absolutely hilarious. I don't know if you've checked out my musical video yet, but I addressed it earlier today with a soundtrack.
You didn't. Oh yeah, you told me about the musical video, but I went and looked.
And just one of the comments here. Colin P. Smith, have I had any contact with Chris Persia recently? No. I've been away for a while, but I was looking at his Twitter. It's been inactive for several weeks. If anybody knows Chris, just let us know everything's okay.
I said that to you. I said that.
He hasn't posted anything since April 6th.
I haven't heard from him, but I think Derek McManus, he was the one that said to me, I think on this stream, I think he actually said it, that he's busy. He's busy with it. I think he's doing something got to do with all this nonsense.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Well, yeah, I disappeared for several weeks.
Yeah,
too,
I think he's a carer or something.
Yeah. But Chris, if you happen to see this, just drop me a DM or drop Noel a DM. Just let us know everything's okay, my friend.
Yeah, I was wondering, but if he is busy, as I said, stay safe, pal. And,
we're worried about you, man.
Yeah, I hope he is all right. I really do, because we haven't heard any words. But if anybody is in contact with Chris and has been, could you just let us know that he's actually okay? That's all we want to know. We just want to know that he's still out there doing whatever he's doing. Once we know that he's okay, because the fact that we haven't actually heard from him now, that's because I did bring this up a couple of streams back, and I thought I was overreacting, but I'm not. It's like we haven't heard from him, not even on Twitter, even something, a little word to say,
no posts, the last likes, tweets, reposts, nothing since April 6th.
I know,
which is unlike Chris. So yeah, Chris, just please let us know you're okay.
Yeah, at least let us know that you're okay. That's all we want to know. Or if there's anybody that has been in recent contact, just please let us know. Let Bowlestrek know, Gary know. Just let us all know, because nobody knows. That's the thing, and that's what's worrying me. I just hope you're all right, Chris. Because he's always on everybody's channel. Because I remember then he didn't appear on mine right for a couple of streams, and I thought nothing of it, because I thought, maybe he's busy on the other streams, which I understand, because I've always said to him, listen, if Gary is on or Doomcock is on and I happen to be on, I know you've been working on their streams before mine. So
he hasn't. He normally would retweet it, but he at the last stream he did was the Inquisition on April 5th.
Damn.
Well, just let us know, Chris. We're concerned. So and like I said, I had to leave too. So, just touch base. We're concerned, man. You're a good friend of us, of all of us, actually.
Yeah, I know. I sent him a private Twitter message there. When did I send it? Hold on. I just want to let you know the last time I tried to contact him, and it was on. Where is it? I contacted him the last time, right? The 4th was the last time he was on a stream with me, And I remember it was the 12 Monkey stream, because he actually gave us, me and Rabbi, a warning in the chat that maybe this could get pulled down. And then he actually wrote to me on Twitter then, and he wrote, they cut your stream. So then I wrote to him, the next time I will listen. But interestingly enough, he didn't read that tweet, and that was an hour later. And then on the 15th of the 15th of April, I wrote, you okay, mate? I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you are well and safe. And he hasn't looked at that tweet either. Now, he probably is gone dark.
Yeah, which if that happens, it does happen, because
it does happen,
I've done it.
When it does become this long, then you do start getting a little bit worried, because there has been no contact. But so I will say to other people, though, if you have had genuine contact with him, let us know that he's okay. That's all we want to know.
Yeah.
We know he's all right. Whatever he's doing, we don't give a crap. He's probably out there saving the world, and fair play to him. But we want to know that he's okay doing it.
Yeah, we just want to know you're fine, man. And
Exactly.
if you're out there helping, you have our respect, man. And best wishes. But yeah, just let us know everything's okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's loads of people like yourself as well. You've done your bit as well, and let's not. And I know we've kind of gone off a little bit subject. We might as well thank everybody that actually is out there fighting the good fight on their behalf, trying to keep us alive. And I know there's people still out. I'm not going to have a go at anybody. There's people out there that are not taking this seriously, but I'm not going to have a go at them. You know what I mean? Because the majority of us are doing what we're told. If the few want to not listen, well, then, they will face consequences that we all don't want to face. And it's as simple as that. I'm sorry, it sounds harsh, but, if you're not going to listen to the experts, well, then you're leaving yourself open to be, infected. I won't say any more than that, because you still, even though YouTube has said you can talk about the thing we won't talk about, but you can't. They demonetize straight away. But to everybody out there, not just the nurses and doctors, but to the people that are working in the shops, to the farmers as well. I mean, I think we forget those people as well. Remember, there's still farmers out there producing food for us. You know what I mean?
Yep.
With them. And I've noticed now a lot of the shops in Ireland, the queues have kind of gone away in certain shops, and the shelves are still stocked. So the panic buying in Ireland seems to have settled down, thankfully. So everybody is starting to. But what I have noticed is that a lot of people are getting a bit pissed off with this whole isolation, and a lot more people are going outdoors because of the good weather. Listen, another 2 or 3 weeks of this, we might get through the worst of it, but those people out there now, listen, you're going to set us back. You could set us back for months. I know it's a pain in the arse. I don't like staying indoors. Nobody does. It's human nature to want to go out there and explore anyway, isn't it? That's what it's their nature. But right now, we're facing something that we've never faced. Our generation, anyway, we've never faced anything like this. We must do the right thing. We've got to think of everybody else. So, to everybody out there that's fighting the good fight on my behalf to keep me alive, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Bowlestrek, you're one of them as well, because when this shit hit the fan in Canada, you were straight off YouTube and you were doing what you were doing. And as well, Gorminator as well. He does his thing. I think he does something with, if I'm correct, something got to do with medical, but I see, or something like, I don't know what it is, but he does something but he's on the front line as well. There's a lot of people that we know that have been on the front line, and I'm worried about them all. It's not right. It's not. But look, positive thing is we will get through this if we keep doing the right thing. I hope so anyway, because I plan to be around anyway to see Doctor Who come back to its former glory maybe in 10, 15 years' time. And I hope to be still alive to actually see that happen. So, I mean, that's the reality, isn't it? Like, it's seriously,
Yeah.
I wake up every day thinking, well, how long have I got to live now? And I've never wanted to face that because I'm going to be honest with you all. I've always had a fear of dying, but this has kind of eased that because I mightn't be around in a week's time. That's how quick this thing takes you. So, just do everything you have. And I have underlying medical conditions. So if you're strong and healthy, there's a chance you're fine. But let's not kid ourselves. It has taken strong and healthy people as well. And that has to be said. But if you are strong and healthy, more than likely you'll get through it. But if you have underlying medical conditions like me and Cheryl, and trust me, I don't give a shit about me, to be honest with you. I never really have, to be quite honest with you. That's the attitude I've always had. But I'm married. I have a wife.
Yeah.
And she's me world. And right now, I'm panicking because if anything happens to her, I don't know if I'm left on my own or she's left on her own. This is what I'm worried about now. That's the reality. So for those people out there that are saying, this, that, and the other about different things, this is what we should do instead of the lockdown. I'm sorry, but don't be selfish because think of people like my wife. There's many of people like my wife out there that could take them like that. I'm sorry, that terrifies me. So that's when my sleep patterns all over the place, as you've noticed. Actually, I want to give a shout out to Yaz as well. Did you see on Twitter, Bowlestrek this morning, 4:30 this morning, that lunatic was up because he's bleeding sleep pattern is all over the place. This thing that we won't mention has everybody not only on edge, but everybody's sleep pattern is just all over the place.
Yeah, well, it's I know mine is because I've been working and doing everything else. But yes, what did he put up this morning?
He woke up at half bleeding 4 this morning. He was contemplating what he was going to do, and I was like, it's 4:30 in the UK, mate. It's still dark. Go back. I was looking. He's mad. You go back to bed. I'm just saying, sleep patterns all over the place. Getting up at 4:30, like, you know what I mean. In the UK, that's unheard of. Sure, I'd be only I'm only going to bed at 9 in the bleeding morning now. 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to bed because I just can't sleep because I'm constantly worried. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to bring doom and gloom. We will get through this. I'm not saying we won't. But right now, you've got to understand there is a real, I'm stressed. And I have to say, if I hadn't got videos like yours, Gary's, or other YouTubers that I do listen to, that's what's helping me get through this. You know what I mean? So as I say to Rabbi, but I'll say to you, thanks, because I'm glad you're back doing videos. I know you're not doing as many as you used to do, and that's probably better. But when you do a video now, you always put a smile on my face anyway. So, but it's good to see you back because, right now your videos do help. It's always nice to have a little bit of light entertainment and someone taking the piss out of something. And that's what gets me through. It's better than what we're watching on TV anyway, I can tell you that. Yeah, so I want to thank you as well. And listen, we have plenty of conversations. I don't want to get all soppy, but people know we have plenty of conversations anyway, man. And all I just want to say is I want to thank you for your friendship as well, because you've always been there for me. And listen, this is what I'm trying to say. There's people out there. We're all out there for you. If you ever need to talk, we're here. You know what I mean? And that's why we do these streams as well. And if you ever need to get off your chest or talk to anybody, we're all here anyway. I think that's what I'm just trying to say. But no, seriously, I really do value our friendship. So just want to thank you because, at the right times you've been there for me. So, and it's always good to have a friend. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you, my friend. And it goes without saying, you've always been a good friend to me as well. And, and you do YouTube a lot more than I do. So I think it's important because you help provide a distraction from what's going on in the real world. I'm just, I guest live streams and do the occasional video, but you're here every day. breaking this stuff down, which I think people need that rather than, just my short videos where I make fun of stuff. But I am back intermittently. I'm probably going to be away for at least another week to not week and a half, but
Yeah.
I'm still here, sort of.
I know. Listen, man, the fact that you've said you've done and I know you told me on Twitter, but you see now, when I finish this stream now, I'm going to go into Cheryl and say, listen, Bowlestrek is after telling me he has a musical stream. And she'd be like, what? I go, yeah, put it on the telly. And we'll sit there and we'll watch it now. That's what I mean. Like, I mean, listen, your videos matter just as much as mine, and have always mattered. And anyway, you deserve more respect, and in fairness, people should listen to you a lot more than they listen to me, because you've been through it all on YouTube. You know what I mean? You've been on YouTube longer than me, so you're a veteran, let's just say, of YouTube. And that's why I value your friendship as well, because you're very good with advice as well. And I mean, I was telling you last night about my worries about the channel, and you said, look, at just, you'll have to, because I was telling you, my channel's kind of in limbo right now because I only do Doctor Who. And you were saying, like, branch out slowly, but you give the proper advice, and you are right, because if you do it too quickly, then people mightn't like the changes that you make, but you're always there. So, no, again, I will say thank you. Your videos do matter, trust me. Everybody looks forward. Sure, when you left YouTube, I don't know about everybody else, but it felt different. YouTube was different, actually. There was, I don't know what it was, just you not doing your videos, it just felt a bit, there was something missing from YouTube. It wasn't quite right. We had all the other videos going with all the other YouTubers, but everybody always looks forward to a Bowlestrek video. And when they weren't coming, I even had people on my streams during the live chat. Do you know where Bowlestrek is? When is Bowlestrek going to address this? When is Bowlestrek going to address that? There was like, I was saying, well, listen, I've spoke to him, because remember before you made your statement to say that you'd be off for a while, on and off. And I was telling him, well, he's taking a bit of a break because he's doing his bit for his country. He's fighting on the front line. I said, so he'll be back when he's back. And then people understood. But don't be under any of your videos are just as important as mine. So, I look up to you and Gary, especially you, because as I said, you've always been there for me, but your videos do matter. And a lot of the people in the chat would agree with me as well. Your videos count more than mine. You have been doing this a long time, and you deserve a lot more respect than you get in this Doctor Who fandom. It actually sickens me. That's the sad thing about this whole situation with the Doctor Who fandom. It sickens me that fans like you that dedicated your early days on YouTube to reviewing your Blu-rays or your DVDs and doing comprehensive reviews, to be treated the way you're treated in the fandom now because you don't like the current era of Doctor Who. It is sad. Fans like you deserve a lot more respect than you're getting. Listen, I don't mind the hate that I get. Sometimes it does get to me. It gets to us all. We can all admit that it does get to us all. But at the end of the day, none of us actually deserve it. But you definitely don't. I mean, I've watched your earlier videos. I even said, Jordan, I think it was a last night stream or the stream before, I said, if you haven't watched Bowlestrek's earlier videos, go and check out his reviews. And I says, listen, even write in the comments and, tell him if you like his reviews. Because I know you did mention a few weeks back that was something you were considering, you might do again, like review Classic Who. I, for one, can put up my hands and say if Bowlestrek was doing classic reviews, I would be down for watching those videos again. Definitely 100%. So, yeah, don't ever say that your videos don't count, because they do.
You're making me blush, Noel. But I the way I look at it is within, and we'll call it the fandom menace, because that's the general descriptor. that is more commonly used. I view everyone as equals. In just within the past few months, I've been on live streams with, say, 6 people watching. I've been on live streams with 6,000 people watching. To me, it doesn't make any difference, and it doesn't matter the size of the YouTube channel. What I like having is intelligent conversations, and I think what's good about the Fandom Menace is there is so much diversity, real diversity, not in the way that it's used these days. But when you look at the different personalities, the different styles, the different techniques, I think everybody is important.
Yeah.
And whether you have 10 subscribers, whether you have 300,000 subscribers, what everybody has to say is important. And I don't view any voice as being more important than the other.
Exactly.
What I like is I like having the conversations. And to me, when I do a live stream, I don't care how many people are watching. It's, to be honest, half the time I don't even notice. I just, like talking to people, and it's not always the same opinion either. Now, we don't throw words like ist and isms and phobics and all that stuff around, but we can have disagreements, and we often do have disagreements. But what I think distinguishes us from the other side is we can discuss them without eviscerating each other, without resorting to name calling, and in many cases we can agree to disagree. So I think everybody in this community, big or small, is equally important. And I know, especially right now, with what's been going on the past 6 weeks, I think the whole collection of YouTubers, I think it's done a lot of good, because it has provided a distraction, whether it's listening to Az yell at woke Batman, or Doomcock threatening to take over the world, or Gary reminding us that maybe once upon a time he owned a comic shop, or whether it's Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers ripping some SJW idiot to pieces. It's all important, and it's all relevant.
Exactly. So it is, and I mean, it's all different opinion as well, and people should remember that we're all entitled to. See, I don't know what happened where we got to a point in society where when you had a different opinion, okay, people did argue with your opinion back in the day, but they didn't resort to personal attacks. There seems to be a real, if you have a different... What are you looking at me like that for, Cheryl? What? Cheryl, here, while I'm saying this to you, right, Cheryl's making this face. What you doing? What? You got
I was eating a tissue.
I don't know, but have you got anything to add to that?
No,
was there something specifically? Was there anything specifically you wanted to say?
No, continue on.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, as I said, you just see it's personal attacks. I don't mind if you want to counter my argument with an actual counter argument. Well, then I will debate with you. But I don't know if you actually heard this, Bowlestrek, right? So Rabbi and myself have both actually asked a couple of people that support this era to come on to our streams to basically tell us why they like the show and to have a nice and healthy debate. Now, I'll put the video up. I'll put a little video up on YouTube so they could all see it, because as you know yourself, the J-bots do follow us, whether they like to admit it or not. They're definitely there watching their videos so they can hate on them. But guess how many takers I've had?
None. Well, actually, on the Star Trek Picard thing, I don't think it's been published yet. But it was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Me and Rebecca Goldian went on a podcast with 2 Star Trek Picard fans, and we had very different views. But I think it's one of the very rare instances where we actually had a reasoned debate where we both set aside we both set forth our arguments, and it was devoid of name calling. That's the only. And I'll tweet it when this podcast shows up. But it's the only time that I think I've had a debate with people on the other side that was civil.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't happen anymore.
And as I said to these people as well, and I'll say it again, if you do come onto the channel, you will be treated with respect. Once you don't go into personal insults and you're willing to debate and defend your point of view, we'll defend their point of view. We'll tell you why you're wrong. You'll tell us why we're wrong. But we'll have a nice, healthy debate about it. There'll be no nastiness about it. I'm saying it again because I really want to get 2 years on. I want to really hear the other side. We get accused of not listening to your side, okay? We accuse you of the same thing. Now I'm giving 2 of you guys the opportunity to come onto this channel and actually explain to us why you like this era of Doctor Who. And we will explain to you as why we don't like it in a rational way and in a nice way, right? There'll be none of this personal little insults or anything. It will be just about what the topic is. Now, if you are willing to come on, as I said, the offer is there. Let me know. We will organize something, and it'll be me, Rabbi, or me, Bowlestrek, even, whoever wants to come on, and there'll be 2 of you guys, and we'll have a nice friendly debate, and then we let the fans the fans then listen to the stream and let them see where they fall on the argument.
Well, you remember, Noel, a few months ago while Series 12 was on, I actually tried debating. I know you saw the tweets.
Yeah.
I actually tried debating one of these people, and it just resorted to the same things over and over again, so I just gave up. But I did, the closest thing that I got was when a certain other channel decided to go after me. I put up I think it was like 22, 23-minute video breaking apart the arguments, and there was no retort, just eventually silence and more name calling. So sadly, that's what it comes to.
Yeah, and then apparently I heard as well, and we won't mention that YouTuber because I don't want to start it all up again, but apparently then there was a little behind the scenes movement to do a video on YouTubers like myself, you, and Gary. It was basically going to be a hit piece to call us out.
That would be the first one for me.
Yeah, and then I got a word of it, right? And then I actually put up a tweet, and believe it or not, because someone actually mentioned my wife. Right now, I told Cheryl this. If someone mentioned my wife on Twitter. Now, as I have said numerous times before, I don't mind if you just go after me, but when it comes to going after personal family members, it does really get under my skin. Sorry, Cheryl is just here listening to me, and she's making faces because I forgot she asked me to do something.
Uh-oh.
I'm always forgetting Bowlestrek. Anyway, right, as I said, look, and I'll even say to those YouTubers actually that were involved in that, if yous would like to come on my channel, because I know for 1 second you wouldn't dream of actually bringing me on your channel, but if yous would like to come on this channel and defend your side, especially those 2 YouTubers I won't mention them, but there's 2 YouTubers in question that all of us know that have defended this era no matter what. Talking about the ratings and stuff, and still actually saying the ratings are better, and I don't know how they can, but they're still trying to justify this. If those 2 YouTubers want to come on this channel or any other channel that actually disagrees with you, as I said, nice healthy debate. Now I'll read this super chat and then I'll let Bowlestrek get in there, because I know I've ranted enough tonight. I've had enough of the fandom today after the bickering all day with pro chips. Tomorrow I just want to sit down with my classic Series 10 DVDs, just enjoy Doctor Who again. Respect to you, Noel, and us real fans. And that's a £10 super chat by Extra Spice Mikey. Thank you for that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Listen, I agree. I have a load of animations, other animations that Rabbi sent me that I'm going to be watching. I have been watching a lot more classic Who. And now I'm debating whether me and Rabbi should finish the watch-alongs that we've been doing because of this whole situation. Because, look, Paul Cornell, whether he likes it or not, must understand that not everybody is going to like what someone produces. It just happens. It can happen. And right now, Doctor Who's gone through that period. It doesn't mean because he doesn't agree with fans. I suspect secretly he does agree with us, but again, I think he's looking. There's an angle being here, played here. I think he's looking to either be part of the new series or certainly looking to be one of those considered to replace Chibnall, because if you look at his tweets, he really is. I mean, there's a couple about Chibnall. He's definitely trying very hard to impress Chris Chibnall, and that worries me, because then if he was to take over, nothing's going to change. Nothing would change until they're gone and the regime at the BBC is completely changed again. That a lot of people actually do believe that that's the only way that this will ever be fixed, Bowlestrek. A whole regime change from the very top, and that means like clear out at board level, and in the way they've done it before. So would that be the case? Do you agree with that? Do you think a whole clear out is needed at the BBC before we could see any changes to Doctor Who? Or do you think they can bring in a showrunner that will be allowed, have their own ideas, but kind of, keep within the like what we've always had, a showrunner that can actually come in and actually cares about the show and actually writes the show the way the show should be written? Or do you think the politics at the BBC is so great that no matter who they bring in, it's always going to be the same? Now, I know I gave you multiple options there. I'll let you go through them all anyway, but go ahead.
The show is done. The damage has been done.
Right.
They can't go back. And right now it's obvious because the fans have been ignored. We've been insulted for 2.5 years. We have people involved in the production, both audio and on TV, that have directly attacked us. And all these other personalities, figures, people in front of the camera and behind the scenes, there's been silence. Not one of them has stuck up for the fans, which have now essentially been excommunicated. And I think that's unforgivable. I don't think people will forget. I don't think this show will be able to come back unless it's 20 years from now and nobody from the current era is involved. But no, it's without respect, we reject. We've been disrespected for 2.5 years, and enough is enough. And yesterday was the final nail in the coffin for somebody behind Doctor Who to orchestrate something to drive home the fact that we are no longer part of fandom. Well, I'm not part of fandom. I'm done with New Who. I will not be watching it again. I will watch the classic series, but I won't touch anything after 1989.
And that brings me to the point that I want to make about me streams. Do people want me to continue with the watch-alongs? You will have to let me know. But go on, Bowlestrek. I know you wanted to add something there.
Oh, no, that's pretty much all I was saying. Just Doctor Who is done. I'm over it. I've moved on to other things. I couldn't care less if this show lives or dies. And any Doctor Who videos, when I do make new Doctor Who videos, it's just going to be to mock it.
Yeah.
Just to watch it burn down.
I will say one thing, though. I just want to defend one person, though, within the Doctor Who community.
Gareth Roberts?
Well, two, actually. Peter Davison has never changed his tune because he's never.
And he's classic Who. So I even though he has appeared in a brief special in New Who, I separate Peter Davison from New Who, even though he's David Tennant's father-in-law. But David Tennant hasn't done anything to support the fans.
Yeah, and he was the first one to have doubts about this, so he deserves huge credit. Now, in fairness,
so does Sylvester McCoy.
Sylvester McCoy.
He shut up after he saw what happened to Peter Davison, but Sylvester McCoy was against it. Colin Baker, I will not be watching any of his stories again either, because he actually directly attacked the fans right after the announcement was made. And he was once my favorite doctor, but Tom Baker, you're back to being my favorite doctor, sir.
Not only that, though, did you notice, Jordan, that whole NHS special that they had?
The shirt?
That Colin Baker couldn't resist, the rainbow shirt.
Yep.
Yeah, Jody.
Yep, that's where he lost all my respect, finally.
I mean, look, I get you, mate. You support her, but this was not the time to make some sort of statement, and that's exactly what that T-shirt was. It was a statement. It was like, well, screw you, fans. We're the real fans. Look at they're paying for this now, and it's unfortunate, and they're going to continue. And this show will. It's gone. Listen. If fans that support this era think this show is going to survive after Series 13, it's already dead. It's just Series 13 is going to limp along. There's nothing that's going to save this. And we've already heard the rumors before this crisis hit that that former companions were going to be roped in to the next series. Listen, you can throw everybody at this. Everybody from New Who's past and from Classic Who's past. You could throw them all in, and you're not going to save this. It's too late. It's game over.
Yep.
Chris Chibnall killed it. He got what he wanted. The other fans, listen, you were right. Right? I'll give it to you. You said that we would leave eventually. Right? You kept telling us to go. We didn't listen to you, right? Maybe we should have listened to you, but we were stubborn because we weren't going to let you have it all use our own way. But you won, right? It's not even about winning anymore, but you got what you wanted. You wanted us gone. We're gone. And
Yep.
You know what the consequence of that is? The ratings you have now. And by the way, just to let you know and to hammer this point home, Westworld, when it started, was hugely successful. Season 2 went woke. They rectified it somewhat in season 3. Actually, I heard season 3 was a huge improvement. Unfortunately, though, the audience never came back.
No,
And
I
now
don't
that
watch
show is struggling. Now, this is what will happen with Doctor Who. See, what you clowns don't realize, and this is why you are clowns, is because you have been telling us fans to leave for 3 years since Jodie Whittaker was cast, right? And for 3 years you've been telling us, and for 3 years we've hung on. And the Timeless Child was the breaking point for almost all of the fandom, right? And I say almost all of the fandom because I reckon there's another million that's probably hanging on to the final rating of the Timeless Children. They will leave during the festive special, and then they're gone. And then what you're left with then is the rest of you guys. But then you will see that the game is up. Then you will start throwing the blame on us for it failing. But in reality, the only people you have to blame for this is yourselves. We warned you for 3 years. You didn't want to listen to us because you were just like us, just as stubborn. We didn't come together. We should have. Because as soon as Series 11 was aired, we saw what he did. It was nothing like Doctor Who. Then he tried to course correct, as we know. But then he made sure that he doubled down on all the preachy mess and business. And you know what? His character development for each character. Anyway, listen, Jodie Whittaker, from the woman who fell to earth to the Timeless Children, there has been no progression in her character whatsoever.
Nope.
Absolutely.
It's going backwards. Well, I think Charlotte actually says it best. They have won a dead show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you've won. So congratulations. And you know what? All you had to do was just listen to us. We weren't racist. We weren't sexist. We never were. Never. And that's the thing. We never, ever were. This was all the things we said or did in videos was because we genuinely cared about the show, because we seen the warning signs. and you chose not to listen. So yeah, Charlotte is right. Congratulations, you won a dead show. It's going to be a short victory for you, though. It's going to be short, but it's not going to be sweet.
Nope.
And you have helped broke a lot of fans, and that's all you have done. I'm starting to get. I don't want to get upset again because I keep thinking about the time this shit's popping into my head again, but I don't want to. But you've broke a lot of fans. You've got what you wanted. So as I said, well done. You haven't won much, but you could have had the greatest show with us. You could have shared the most wonderful television experience, but you were so more into our ideology. You were so more into what yous wanted instead of what we all wanted. And I just want to finish off by saying, not once was any of us that were on this side of the argument. As I said, we were never any of those names that you called us. We are genuine fans who have lost something, and some of us, like me, are genuinely heartbroken, and I'm actually finding this very tough to let go, but I have to let go, because if I don't, it will kill me, because this man, Chris Chibnall, just doesn't have the love for the show that I have, or the fans, and it's sad. And Paul Cornell last night was the final nail in the coffin, because when you have a writer like that just doesn't care what the fans think, it's game over, it really is. And we've lost something beautiful. But you know what? We've had 50. I know Bowlestrek doesn't count the other years, and I understand why. But we've had 50 years. Right, we'll leave it at the 50th anniversary for me. Right, 50 years.
Yeah, I'll leave it at survival. But yeah, no, it's the last thing that I want to say, because I have to head off shortly. But yeah, what happened yesterday was reprehensible, because the last thing that could have maybe brought this fandom together was these rewatches, because for the first time we were discussing Real Doctor Who again, and he decided to use these to make a point and make it clear that everybody that he blocked, and I think he used a blockchain, is no longer part of Doctor Who fandom. Because remember, he said this was all fandom, so all of what they consider fandom. So what happened yesterday was he used this thing that was supposed to be something positive, and he used it as a weapon, and it eventually it killed the fandom. I'm out. I'm not coming back.
Yeah. And you know what, though? When the very first watch along happened, to tweet along, I actually said it in the stream, and I was actually told by people at the time that maybe I was jumping the gun. Sometimes I do, and I'll put my hand up. I do jump the gun. I jumped the gun on the whole Christopher Eccleston thing. It turned out he did actually do something for the NHS on ITV. He'd actually written a poem, which I think is more poignant than a video. Now, don't get me wrong, I did the other video. I haven't really praised it because I didn't think it did, and it was just a message, but it wasn't. I was expecting more. That's the only criticism I have. But you'll never see 8 doctors on the TV screen like that ever again. So for that, I'm grateful for that part. But again, Bowlestrek is right. The reason why Joe Martin's Doctor and Jodie Whittaker, it's a statement. This has always been a statement. I was right from the beginning. I knew there was something else behind this. I said it at the time, and it's heartbreaking. This was a ploy all along. I knew it was. I knew. I just knew. And again, I got sucked in. I keep getting sucked in. I'm not getting sucked in anymore. I'm not. I'm done.
No.
I can't keep doing this. I can't. This show shouldn't be making me feel this way. I told you, this is all know my personal story, but I'm not going into Bowlestrek has to head off. But 2005, this show saved me life, so I owe this show a debt of gratitude. And now it's turned me into I just don't know. It's never. I look. It's gone. It's finished. I don't even think it can ever come back ever again. How can you even fix this? You can't. You can't ignore it either, because you'd have to do something about it. You would have to do something about it because it's there. You couldn't just ignore it. There's no way of fixing this shit.
No.
No way. Do you know what? He probably pulled the wool over her eyes next season now because he knows the backlash, and he'll do the cheap trick where the master was lying. But it's still not going to. It's still not going to do anything. He already did the damage. See, you know what I mean. You don't show a child on a screen being experimented and murdered and say that's the foundation of the Time Lords, and you expect fans to actually accept that. No, I'm done. Bowlestrek is right. Listen,
I could finish this if everybody wants some cheering up. I put out a video about 2 hours ago called "The New Female-Centric Star Wars is a Roadmap to Success with Music. What Could Go Wrong?" So it's more lighthearted. We can laugh at this stuff. So yeah, check out my video and hopefully you enjoy it. It's very different from my regular videos.
And as I said, yeah, videos like yours really do help. And I'm sorry if I've bummed some people out. I didn't mean to bum anybody out, but this is just how I'm feeling. I just want Chris Chibnall and Paul Cornell to understand what they've done. You know, and I they're my favorite, as I said, one of my favorite two-parters, and he's just, he's tainted that one for me now, and I just, it's game over now. There's nothing we could do now, I'm being honest, but, people were saying I was wasting me time. I didn't want to believe them, but after what Paul Cornell did last night, it just goes to show you that BBC are still going to continue on from this. Look at the Origins trailer proves that the fans have rejected it. If you go to any of the articles and you go into the comments, the fans have rejected it, right? They're pandering to the Twitter crowd and the Twitter crowd only, and people that think like them, right? And they're going to continue down this path. They don't care. Sure, he's already... Bowlestrek, actually, just before you do leave, what are your quick thoughts on the fact that he has hired... it's rumored that he has rehired... Actually, no, not rumored. I think it's been confirmed now. Ed Hyam, who wrote It Takes You Away and Orphan 55, probably two of the worst Doctor Who episodes of all time, has been roped back in to write an episode for Series 13. Now, if fans that are out there that have been defending this say, oh, look, he'll get it right. As I said, if you haven't got it right after 2 years, it's time to leave. But he certainly hasn't learned his lesson if he's bringing this clown back.
I would say just let them burn. And we'll laugh at it.
Right. Well, that's short and sweet. Listen, mate, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. And you look after yourself. And you know what I'm going to do now when I finish this stream? Straight on into the sitting room with the wife now, and we're going to put your video on.
It includes the Titanic, Noel.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, no, I'm definitely, yeah. She'll probably cringe at that now, the Titanic. She doesn't like that. I have to say, no, I'll give Cheryl one thing. I don't think she likes the old romance element to that movie. That movie would have been great without the Jack and Rose story. You could have made it just about the real people that were on the ship. And I can understand why he did it, because he didn't want to make it about those, but he should have. It would have been a more interesting movie. And then having that scene that he had where the Titanic is breaking up, that iconic scene, it would have been, trust me, that movie still would have been one of the great, it still would have topped being one of the most grossing movies until it got beaten, obviously, by Avatar. But at the time, it grossed the most money, wasn't it? And it won all those Oscars. It still would have, to be honest, in my opinion, if they had just concentrated on the characters, because there was a lot of interesting characters on the Titanic.
Yep.
And me and Bowlestrek do have a love of the Titanic. And that reminds me, I still have to put my model together. So I promise you, next week, we'll get started on the Irish Geek on that bloody Titanic model. And watch me mess it up because I'm a clown.
It'll be a fun time, Noel. But yeah, Lexi is now begging.
Right,
Teach you
no
to
problem.
take
Go
one.
ahead, Bowlestrek. And listen, mate, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
No problem, man. And hashtag fuck Doctor Who. I'll finish it that way.
Yes, hashtag for. I love that. Yeah.
Cheers, all.
Cheers, mate. Go on. Talk to you soon. Right, folks, and that's me guests for tonight. So we had Rabbi earlier, and we had the wonderful Bowlestrek, who actually stayed on a lot longer. So thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. And guys, sorry if I bummed you out near the end. Listen, I didn't mean to, bum you out, but it's just how I'm feeling right now, and I have just come to the realization. What Cornell has done has greater significance. And it's sad. It's gonna, yeah. Well, listen, we move on as we always do. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. We'll have Rabbi again. We will see. I'm going to talk to Rabbi and see if he wants to continue with the new Who watch alongs. I'm pretty sure he probably will want to. Let me know in the comment section, not here in the live chat, when the stream goes up fully on YouTube. If you could do me a favor and let me know in the comment section if you would like us to continue the new Who watch alongs. The long game is next. We're on Series 1. Hold on, I've just been told to check me Twitter, so I'll just check me Twitter real quick just to see what I've received. Right, that is actually worth showing. Right, well, I will show you this, and I suppose this probably is the, hold on now. This is probably the best tweet that kind of sums up this clown that we've been talking about tonight. Look, I think there's still a will from people here for me to still do them. If you don't want me to do them, I won't do them. But I still think there's that some fans still like me, will still want me to do. I can understand Bowlestrek as well. I kind of agree with him in certain ways, to be honest with you, if you analyse New Who over the long term. But we would be hypocrites. We did like some of those stars. Well, I'd be a hypocrite. I'm not calling Bowlestrek by all means. I'm not. Bowlestrek just, he takes it just as personal as me, but I think just Bowlestrek is just finally done with everything, and I don't blame him. A lot of fans are like that. But there you go. That just goes to show you. So actually, there I am. I'm blocked. That's the neurotics there. There's our very own Blue Bonnet Hoovian, Doomcock. Obviously, the third Doctor, Starry-Eyed Girl, Heel versus Babyface, Bowlestrek, Selfie Bird, at Burn. I can't really read that out. Friedel and TN Thorn 1970. So there you go. That's just some of the people. Wow. That's definitely a t-shirt. That's definitely a t-shirt. But there you go. Listen, that's a fitting tweet to end on. And yeah, what can I say, people? What can I say? This is what we're dealing with. Listen, Extra Spice Mikey, thank you for that £10 super chat. earlier. I really appreciate it. It's actually nice to see some of the old faces back, tuning in and listening to me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate all the support. The numbers seem to be going up a little bit on my channel now. It seems to be doing a little bit better from what it was. So I do appreciate it, because it means that you are all still watching and listening. So thank you for that. As I said, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys, and I will always remember that. There's, as you know yourselves, as you have seen over the years, there are certain YouTubers, when they get to a certain not fame, I would say. Well, we could say fame, because there's some famous YouTubers out there. They get a little bit of fame and then they forget who the most important people are in this whole YouTube game, which is you guys. Because without you guys, our channels wouldn't actually exist. So I do appreciate everything, and all the support that you guys give me all the time. So thank you. And I do think we will continue the new Who Watch Alongs if that's what people want. I will give you as what you want if that's what you want. And we'll also listen, as I said, we're going to start branching out on the channel. So those other requests that were made, we will start getting through them on this channel. I'll also be doing different streams as well and talking about subjects that and other shows as well that I'm actually interested in, that some of you might be surprised, or some of you might actually might dislike, of course. But again, that's the whole point of the channel. We be able to discuss all these things and have a nice, healthy debate about them, and that's what I like. So listen, good night. Stay safe, folks, and listen, don't forget to like the stream, share the stream wherever possible. As I said, I want to give another special shout out to all my moderators, but especially Daniel, who so it's 11:20. So that's 40 minutes from now is going to be 25. So again, mate, I wish you a happy birthday. I will wish you a happy birthday again tomorrow. I'll actually sing you a happy birthday tomorrow. And you don't have to moderate tomorrow. Actually, I tell you what, Daniel, and I made this offer already. If you want to join me and Rabbi for the long game, I don't think you should be moderating on your birthday. Why don't you actually join us, me and Rabbi, for a stream of the long game, and you can do the watch along with me and Rabbi. As you said, you enjoy them, so why don't you be part of this one on your birthday? Why not? Why not? And I'm sure everybody in the chat wouldn't mind having you part of the watch along tomorrow. You're very popular with everybody, so yeah. So it looks like he blocked all the best YouTubers. David, he did. Ta. Thank you. On top of the list there. I'm only messing. But yeah, it is interesting the amount of people. Actually, he's blocked a few people that don't even have YouTube channels there as well. Actually, I don't think Starry-Eyed Girl still has a YouTube channel, but yeah, he blocks her. You know, and Starry-Eyed Girl, as you all know, is one of the nicest people in the fandom. She's not. Look, and listen, I know. Listen, I know it can be a prick, right? Starry-Eyed Girl's nice, and she's nice when she puts her points across. She's always nice. Whereas sometimes if someone's annoying me, I can put a point across that's very, very forceful. I can put my hands up and say, I've never hidden the fact. You know what I mean? I get very militant sometimes, but she's not. She doesn't deserve to be blocked. Jesus Christ, me? I don't think I deserve to be blocked, it to be in all fairness, but if that's what he wanted to do, I have a reputation, believe it or not, around the Doctor Who community. And it's not a good one. And it's not what I really wanted, but I don't care. It is what it is, and that's the way it is. And you know what? Who cares? Who cares? One day, like, you know, it's all going to collapse anyway. There won't be a Doctor Who fandom. So I won't have to worry. We'll just continue to do other stuff that we enjoy anyway. Let me see, right? So we get this ready. Right, we've got that ready. Right, guys, let me see. I'm just going to say 40 minutes and I bet we're still on. Now I'm heading off now. I'm heading off because I want to watch the Bowlestrek video before Cheryl heads to bed. Thank you again, as I said. And listen, stay safe. Look after yourselves. And I will talk to you all tomorrow and then Monday as well. So I'll leave you with this, folks. Thank you for all the support, as I said. Appreciate it. Good night.